Okay, welcome back to our Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea campaign. It is currently the first. Oh, sorry, I screwed up the date. Yeah, the first day of the second month of the 11th year. And we've jumped forward a bit in time. The party is seeing or coming through the canals, and they see up ahead of them the spires of the city of Zymbala. But before that, since some time has gone by, the group had received a little bit of treasure from the last adventure, monetary treasure, some very nice magic items, but a little bit of treasure, and took some time to rest. Remember, in Gaul, they were setting up some warehousing for their silk export business that they had started, and they had come across a map that seemed to be some kind of a treasure map, and seemed to point to an island that was off possibly one of the crab archipelago, near the crab area. So, looking at the maps and such on their boat, this island does not seem to exist, and the Gaul city is not exactly known for its libraries and the such. So the party has decided to head towards Xambaala, considering going to Khromarium, but it would be 3 months in the wrong direction of sea travel. So they are headed in that direction. However, while they were in Gaul, there was a celebration. The celebration, or the festival of Apollonia, if I say it, which is the celebration of the new sun, and it's held every year. And there's much pomegranate wine and much celebrating for the light to come back. And I think that's all. And we can go in and intro the characters. I think Rush's character was actually a monk of Apollo. However, a previous character, but they sadly no longer with us. So there probably wasn't much going on as far as the Apollonia. So it is it was the very first festival ever held after when civilization started to come back. It's the first week. It used to be once every 13 years, and now it is every year except for the 7th year. And you ate roasted boar, pomegranate wine, rejoicing, promiscuity, and sacrifice. So it's a good time for all. Yeah, so we're going to start off kind of on the boat, but it's been, 3-4 weeks. You guys did have some stuff. I know that Callista had done some things in town, and so on. So if you want to tell us about your characters and maybe what they've been working on up to this point, as we start to pull into the port of Zymbala to receive some information, possibly from the libraries there. And I will start with Crystal. Tell us about your character, Crystal.
I play Callista Kixlios. She is from a wealthy merchant family in Khromarium. She is a magician, and a couple months ago, she lost her loyal servants to a giant ape monster. So, in attempting to have some kind of retribution, she has sent their family news of the passing of their kin, and little extra. And she watches in her crystal ball every night the merchant that she sent, or the courier she sent, to deliver the message to make sure that it gets delivered safely.
Nice. That's how it starts. Magicians looking in crystal balls. Okay. So, Tony, tell us about your character.
I am playing Brickhild, the imposing, the Khromarium Celt warlock. She has been spending most of her time on the ship in studies of her books and things related to that. But you would have noticed one morning that she seems to be involved in kind of a heated discussion, maybe of one of the sailors, the crew members, and she huffs off and goes back to her quarters. And when she comes back out later, maybe it's the sun or who knows what it is, but you see her hair is just a little bit redder than it was. It was starting to almost get these blonde highlights back in them, but you see her hair is even redder now, almost matching the hair of Panesta. And she's just walking up and down the ship, murmuring and studying words in her books. That's what Brickhill the Imposing, the Warlock's doing.
Excellent. Speaking of Panesta, Nikki, tell us about your character.
I play Panesta, the Bard Extraordinaire. And she, of course, is always composing songs and stories based on the adventures of the group. She's glad that they managed to avenge the dead that were killed because of their tragic mistake in releasing the ape creature. And she's just kind of been on the ship. She's happy that Brighild is back. And she's just been studying and composing, pretty much what she's been doing.
Excellent. Mike, tell us about your character.
I play Muda Adi. Muda is a Lemurian purloiner who was severely beaten by these Apemen within a mere fraction of his life. And he has spent most of the time recouping, knowing that he would much rather have a natural healing than a magical healing. He has spent a lot of time resting and exercising, as well as honing his skills again and trying to get the injured muscles to work as they should, as well as having moments of prayer to Rel. But he enjoys just hanging out and watching the crew and his companions, and looking for any opportunities to zing a barb here and there at them just to get a rise and to keep smiles going, at least a smile on his face. And that's Muda.
Excellent. And rounding out the bunch, Rush, tell us about your character.
I am playing Bale, the former mercenary, for a Khromarium Celt mercenary. And on this long ocean voyage, Bale has spent most of his time traipsing and fighting across the land and has spent very little of it at sea, so he is intrigued by the ocean and the waves and the teamwork that's required from the crew to make a boat function and move the way it does. And very quickly he decides to join the crew, acting as a deckhand, one, so that he can learn, and two, so that he can try and keep his body in top fighting form as well. He would spend nights on the journey, speaking with Callista about the intricacies of magic and tapping into that unknown void and the things that can be done. He would spend nights speaking with Muda about religion and possibly even of Rel, as it seems that maybe Rel would be a good fit for the mercenary man. He would speak with Panesta on nights, discussing things such as the arts of poetry and prose, being thoroughly impressed with her abilities to put word to paper, and also with Brighild herself, whom he hasn't spent much time with, but with whom he would definitely be interested in understanding how she takes the art of the spear and mixes it with the art of the magic, uh, the way that she does, and how she makes the two of them work in harmony and things like that, and just generally getting to know the crew even better and swapping stories and just working on the boat. You know, just trying to make the most, considering the boat voyage to be just yet another adventure. And that would be Bale.
Excellent. Yeah, actually, everybody, well, except Brigil, who's already mastered it, I don't think anybody else has, but you all can actually roll a d6 to see if you're picking up the skills to sail the boat. Because everybody's been on the boat long enough that we'll give you a 3 and 6 chance. So Brigil already knows.
I'm not a very good deckhand.
Right. Perhaps you spread yourself too thin.
Yes, maybe. Too much talking with the
Right.
ladies at night.
Yeah,
Right.
Nesta doesn't have any interest in sailing a boat either.
Yes, you have 9. I mean, loyal at this point. They've been with you for well over a year. Lemurian sailors. So perhaps it's a language barrier. How about Callista? Was Callista able to pick up any?
Running a business shouldn't mean running to the post office.
Or Bale and Panessa just spend too much time talking about poetry and drinking too much wine.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was muted. I'm sorry. Yeah, Callista likes to learn anything and everything, so she's been taking careful notes and working with Brighild to learn how to sail, and she has done pretty well.
Oh yeah, she rolled 2.
Now I have my regular dice.
Excellent. Sorry about that. Out in the other room, my computer started talking to me, and it was saying a lot of random stuff. I did not want it to cast a spell, so I had to stop it. Usually it just says stuff like, I don't understand what you're saying, but it was like literally going into something. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, I heard that. I was like, whoa.
I thought like my neighbor came in and started yelling at me. Anyways, real world jumping in. So yeah, you are pulling into the port of Zymbala. Now Zymbala is, of course, a relatively large city, though not nearly as large as in Khromarium. And it is a strange place in the sense that it backs a desert. You have the ocean on one side of you, well, an inlet from the ocean on one side of you, and the desert on the other. The desert slowly claiming the city, as they say. There are a few kind of tall buildings, spires, remaining from the old city, and other than that, a lot of it's kind of squat. So you're kind of looking out at it, and I had to go back into my thing and load the Zymbala map in, so you guys are at the map. Okay, so there's Zymbala. So essentially, you're going to obviously come in where the docks are. You see basically to either side of you, left or right, you see like warehouses along the shore, and of course there's like a boat kind of out at right where the inlet is, kind of policing, if you will, and letting people come in and out, because there's a lot of trade traffic here. Zymbala is a major trade port. So as you your sailors kind of bring the boat up, kind of drop the sails down, and they switch to oars by now, and they kind of are floating out there. A small boat comes up to the side of your decently sized ship, and a woman that's on the front. She's dressed in kind of the simple garb that they wear here, especially when they're on the water. Just around her waist, a simple belt with a knife, but otherwise barefooted and simply garbed with just kind of some cloth. She calls up and she says, "What is your business in Zymbala, and how long will you be here?"
Just prior to us docking, Brighild is going to go and contact the Nesta alone and say, I understand from what you've told me and what little I was here of it, that you may be known. Do you think you should use any type of disguise or something? Do you think that there'll be any of the authorities looking for you here?
It's been, what, 3 years?
3 years. Huh?
I don't know if they'd remember me, but maybe I shouldn't go to the bazaar.
Well, I guess if we see your face on some old poster that's still up, we'll just rip it down.
Yes. And I think if the current leadership is what I think it is, I'll be okay.
Okay. Yeah, so this woman's calling up to the ship. The sailors kind of look back at you guys for some kind of a... I mean, you are a trade ship, but you're not currently carrying trade goods.
Oh, well, I would go over and I guess I'm not the best person, but I'm going to do it anyway. Go over there, and we're here for information. We won't be long in Zymbala.
Ah,
We'll
okay.
visit the libraries.
You should anchor. And she kind of points off to one side. She says, anchor offshore and take a small boat in. We can't hold up the docks for non-trade.
I look at the others. That makes sense, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you've been doing this for a while. This is not uncommon. If a port's busy, they're
Yeah.
not going to have you take a dock space if you're not actually loading out.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. And you
We'll
do
just
have
simply
a small,
take the rowboat.
Yeah, you have a couple of rowboats.
That I can handle, I'm sure. Just
I don't know,
can't
would
get
you roll?
a 6. I just can't
Tips
seem to
over.
get the hang of these sail riggings and the knots and all that stuff, but I can pull oars like any other man.
Yes, why don't you do the things that require the muscle, and Callista and myself will do the things that require the brains.
That's an excellent thought, Brighild. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, yeah. So you're able to, you instruct your men, and they kind of move the boat over. They're rowing the large boat. They row it over a bit and drop the anchor, kind of in the area where people kind of sit. And they I mean, the sailors work for you, so they drop down the rowboat for you guys to mount. And one of them, we haven't named them, so sailor number 1, basically I guess the second mate or first mate or whatever you call him, he'll say, okay, we'll be docked here for a while. I'm going to, I'll set up a couple men on watch and put the rest on leave. We'll go and,
Is the woman on the docks, is she still watching us while we're doing all this coming ashore, or did she leave?
no, she went over to the next boat that was coming in. It's pretty busy.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to have to go back through there because it's all kind of cliff face. You're going to have to go back to the docks to get off your rowboat. And, your sailors will, well, you can leave the rowboat there if you want. I mean, you'll have to pay to leave it there. Or you could have the sailor drop you off and come back. It's up to you how you want to do it. If you feel like you need to have the rowboat there or not, you could pay for it. But in any case, you're able to get to shore. And it puts you on the docks of Xambaala. So what would you like to do? We'll say it's mid-morning. Now, at this time of year, this year, I should say, because you're coming into, what's the second month, right? First day of the second month. Sunrise was 7:50 a.m. Sunset is 4:10. So it gets dark early. It's probably like about 10 o'clock. So you've got, you have some time. And you do know that they ring the bell. I believe it's at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And the streets are jet. Well, that's how it was before anyways. Pernesta knows that. That they ring the bell and you should be off the streets at night. But it's not technically night. It's during certain hours. Because if you remember last time, it was day the whole time.
Well, I know that she would suggest going to the I don't remember the exact name. The tower where the
Right, where the libraries
library.
are. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
If it wasn't burned, I mean,
No, it wasn't.
in the riots.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely do that. So that is basically, if you guys are in Roll20. So just a summary for anybody who, well, plus people that are watching that don't know what's going on, but also for any of the players that might not remember. Let me click off of this. Let me get my little thingy out so I can mark. Okay. Oh, am I in the wrong? Why is it doing that? I'm on the wrong layer, I think. It's not letting me do the little... Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So in the center of Zymbala, there's a huge fountain in here. And a bazaar happening around it. Over here is the Temple of Apollo that has a giant statue on it. Can't miss that. This is the science tower, basically, the one that you want to go to for the library. That did not burn down. No, it's still there. This is the the Colosseum area. That was that went up in this tower here. I mean, there were other things going on. Also, the Suttraps Mansion is over here. So you know some basic stuff. You know, you've got like the guide to Xambaala in your pocket. When you stayed here before, you stayed in a Saturn's Luck, which is like somewhere around here, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like an inn at first. Then you got rooms after that. But anyways, yeah, sure. You dock, you get off the boat and you start heading to Xambaala. You notice that it doesn't look like much has changed. You still see a lot of these half Ixian, half Eskimo people, which were the slaves, walking around the streets. Nothing seems very different to you. There's lots. This is a very mixed port. Like you see people from all over, dressed in various different types of styles and different ethnic backgrounds. It's very, very diverse in Zymbala. And nobody seems to pay you any mind, even though you're, as a group of adventurers walking down the street, because you see other people like that here as well. This is a pretty large and busy port. Oh, also, this is the Shrine to Rel. What's the other things here? Okay, so you head to the tower. That's easy. You can get there, no problem. Do you go through the bazaar to get there? I guess you got to get to the edge of the bazaar.
I mean, yes, I have aged a bit, and
It's been a long time since you've robbed the bazaar.
I didn't rob the bazaar. I got our stuff back. Oh, okay. It was not a robbery. That was our stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. Yep.
I just wanted to say real quick that Callista will bring her familiar rascal.
Okay. Yeah, it's much warmer here. The temperature today is 40 degrees. It is cloudy.
But I won't just walk brazenly either. I'll be careful about it, walking around the bazaar.
Yeah. You head to the Astrologers Tower. It's 5 stories tall. And with the rooftop observatory, it's not huge. It's only like 50 by 50, but you come in and you see those same men that were there before. Things don't change that much. They're behind the desk, reading books, smoking pipes. You come in and they kind of look up and they kind of squint and they say, Saturn won't be able to be seen for at least 2 more days.
Well, that's interesting. Is there something special about Saturn this year?
Well, Saturn will be brighter than it has been at least since this time last year. We think. If these clouds pass.
Ah,
Wait, you mean that the Saturn shine is actually this? I thought it was next week.
No, it will be in 2 days.
Dang it. Okay. All right. Well, I've got to make some notes on this.
Brickhild is going to look at him and go, who is the satrap now? Who is running this city?
Oh, I don't know if we can answer that with one name. And then the other one kind of pokes him. He says, "Don't be rude to the." He says, well, the young satrap is certainly sits on the throne there, but the council for sure runs the town now, or runs Zymbala these days.
Oh, there's a council.
Oh yes. Well,
You say
if
the
you could-
young satrap. How old is he?
Oh, let's see. Let me say that he doesn't need to shave every day.
So he's a teenager.
Yes.
And who heads the council?
Well, all members of the council have equal. The one guy pokes me. Aramis.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Oh, he's a fine man.
I'm sure.
Hmm.
That's what I've heard.
Yes. Well, the he seems to take the most initiative, shall we say, as the rest of us have too much to really have to take care of. One of the men of science is on the board. We rotate because we're very busy, and the high priest of Helios. I said Apollo. The temple god's actually Helios. Helios, and of course the satrap sits on the council when he finds time.
I'm sure he's very busy.
Yes.
Well, I look at the others. Shall we ask what we came here to ask?
Of course.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me get out those notes. I got them right here. She says she opens up her brass map case and pulls out the notes. We're looking for a place that's not on the regular maps.
Oh. Does it sit upon the void?
No, as cool as that would be. It's supposed to be part of the Crab Archipelago.
Oh, well. Let's see. Let me get a map. And he turns and he kind of walks in, well, you actually haven't been here before. All the rest of us. If he could, they go upstairs. That's where they have all their stuff. And the other guy goes back to reading his book, kind of ignoring you. A few minutes go by, and the man comes down with a long tube. He kind of lays it out. It's got all the markings on it and notes and stuff. Actually, anybody who passed the thing, which is basically Brickhild, would recognize that the map shows like currents and the shipping lanes and stuff like that, as well as the archipelago itself.
Well, that's the best.
And he says, I'm sorry, Callisto also passed. Sorry. So Callisto would also roll this. Yeah. He rolls the map out and he says, which island would it be?
Well, as crazy as this might sound, Atlantis.
Oh, okay. He rolls the map back up. And then he goes back upstairs. You hear him shuffling around a bit. He comes back down and he rolls out another map that has the it's got the new Atlantia at the top. It's completely different part of Hyperborea. He says this is not part of the Crab Archipelago. It's
Yeah.
quite a distance away, actually.
Is that the one we're looking for? Or is that another place?
No, it's let me take the actual map of Hyperborea. I should have done that. So there is actually New Atlantia, which is essentially half a world away from where you're looking. Atlantica, it's called.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, Tony's other characters have been there when he was following the treasure map. But you guys weren't part of that. Atlantica. It's basically here. I'll just share my screen. People aren't going to be able to see it watching, but you'll just have to believe me. So this is Atlantica up here. Whoops, right there. But the Crab Archipelago is here.
Okay.
So it's quite a distance away. Each one of those hexes is 24, 25 miles, something like that. So you're looking at like hundreds of miles away.
And our map says that it's supposed to be like just north of the Crab Archipelago, right?
Not north, over here.
Okay.
You know, but by the edge. The north is basically the center of the map, and not so. I guess south technically.
Okay.
Right at the edge of the world. Yeah.
Yeah. No, not Atlantica. Like that would be easy enough to find. No, I am actually referring to the original, which is why I said I knew it sounded crazy.
I see. Well, many have sought ancient lands that no longer exist. Lemuria, Atlantis. So many lands.
True. But for us, we heard that it is near the edge of the world. Couldn't hurt to investigate at least, so that's why we need a detailed map of the area.
I see. Well, he rolls up his paper, he goes back upstairs, comes back down with the first one, rolls it out. He says, "So where is it?"
And Callisto will, like, she would know how to mark correctly, like, so she takes, I guess, like an extra paper or something to be able to pen the map, and says it should be right around here, apparently.
Oh, I don't think there's any islands there. At least not on the map. However, if you were to find an island there, you should document it and bring it back so we could have it for the library.
Yes, of course I would. Knowledge is something that should be shared with all.
The other guy that's been sitting there this whole time, he closes his book. Dust kind of comes up. He looks and he says, "Oh, well, what about Crystal Point?" Yeah, because she didn't say Crystal Point, did she? She said Atlantis. So yeah, so if you find anything, let us know.
Where is Crystal Point exactly?
Oh, well, it's... Kind of looks, he's got like spectacles, he kind of puts them on, I guess. And he kind of points close to where you put your little thing. Like, around here. It's too small to really have on most maps, and plus, you know, they say that it's haunted. So people don't go there.
Haunted in what way? By demons? By spirits?
Well, most ships that go there crash upon the shores.
Spirits,
actually, though these are mostly tales from the mariners, you'd probably get more information at the taverns near the docks than you would hear about those kind of stories. We only deal with the truth and science here.
Yes, of course. Well, like I said, if these rumors turn out to be true, I'll make sure to document it and bring it for sharing.
Excellent.
can you tell us about Kren Fak?
He'd been like rolling up the map and he stops. Fuck, he rolls it back out. And he says, oh, Krenfak is right here. They are the, those are the crabkin. Those are the Pictish ones. He kind of looks at his friend. No, they're not the Picts. The Picts are near the shore. There must be the kill. Anyways, there's lots of fighting going on around there. They are these crabkin. You know, they tend to not get along. If you know what I mean.
So, like interfighting, and they're fighting among themselves. Are they
That's
known to
right.
attack people who approach?
No. There's trade that goes on at Krenfak. Not sure what they trade. You need to again ask the shippers, but they trade with the outside. They fight amongst themselves. The Eskimo crabkin and Krenfak. That's what they are. They're Eskimo. Anyways, they believe that they are the chosen ones, and the Pictish crabkins believe that they are the chosen ones. So they are fighting to, I guess, decide.
An old story, that one. Very old story. Common. Well, thank you. I will certainly ask the sailors more about what they trade.
You look familiar.
I get that a lot. I suppose I have one of those faces.
Must be that. And he rolls the map up. Would you like a copy of the map?
Yes, please.
Okay. I will begin to scribe it down. It will take 3 days. 20 gold pieces.
Yeah, I would give him the 20 gold pieces. If that's okay with everyone else, that we wait for this. I think it's good to have a copy of the map.
I would love to have a copy of the map.
Yeah, Mood is fine with it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely better than the charts you have. You have very basic. Being from Khromarium, basically the other side of the world, your maps of this area are not that detailed as this one is. So yeah, he rolls it up and then he kind of looks at the other guy and the other guy kind of nods his head and he walks upstairs with it.
Callista will, I guess, to the other guy, or whichever one, she's going to lay down a gold coin and she's going to say, a donation to help keep the doors open.
Oh, very fine, very fine. Thank you. And he kind of slides it back and puts it into the little donation box they have there.
All right. Well, thank you. We'll be back in 3 days.
Excellent. We will be here.
Right. Okay.
Where would you like to go now?
Ready to subscribe, 20 gold. Well, I think we should head to the taverns. What do you think?
Sounds like it.
Yes, it never hurts to hear the locals or visitors, as you say, tell their stories. We may be able to pick up something from someone.
I agree.
Okay. Yeah, so you head back down towards the docks. There's these like dockside taverns where basically the sailors just kind of get off their boats and drink and then go back and crash back on their boats, or they drink while loading and stuff like that. So, they're kind of generally open air type places, even though it's only 40 degrees. People, you guys are tough Hyperboreans. It's fine. And you're covered in first. But you get I know Mood is probably dying, but everybody else is like, it's fine. It's fine, 40 degrees. Yeah, so you head out and you find, I guess the first one you go to, it doesn't really matter, I guess. You walk into one, it's got some sailors in there. They seem to be from various parts of Hyperborea, sitting around tables, drinking, playing dice, etc. Oh, and also, if you remember, there's like a warehouse here that tracks the stuff coming in and out. As far as what loads come in and out the caravans and where they go and stuff like that. So there's also that. If you remember that, you had utilized them the last time to try to track down your caravan lead.
That's right.
Yeah, so you would remember that. So. But yeah, so you go into a bar. You're hanging out. You're listening to stuff. Let's bust out some rumors. Well, give me some rumors. Interesting. Okay. Okay. We'll just have everybody roll one. Why not? Crystal, roll a d8.
Okay. 8. 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you actually hear that. I mean, obviously you hear a bunch of things, but rumors relevant to what you're looking for. You hear this one group talking about how they used to get a lot of copper from the copper mines up there, but it seems like there's been less copper shipped lately, like in the last few months, up to a year. So they find it a little strange. Maybe the mines are running out, is kind of what he says.
Interesting.
Tony, roll a d8 for me.
That was a 4.
4. You hear that people are generally afraid. So, I mean, I guess this is something you probably maybe you wouldn't know it. There's the crabmen who generally live below the sea. Apparently, are beginning to infest some of the islands out there, and they're basically talking about the guy's telling a story about somebody who went missing, and they believe that the crabmen ate them.
Yeah, Brickhill's going to ask them about these crabmen. What size are they? How big are
Oh,
they? If they know.
Imagine a bull standing on 2 legs, and then also with the crab part.
Ah, very large then.
Oh, yes. But apparently they have very tiny mouths, so they take a long time to eat you.
Yep, and she'll buy them a drink. Round of drinks.
Panesta, Nikki, roll a d8.
Okay. 5.
5. Oh, you actually hear something very specifically about Crystal Point. That the Crystal Point is haunted by the ghost of. I know you're gonna want this name, so I will copy it.
Yep.
Belzota. I'll put it in the chat, even with the phonetic.
Okay.
Belzatos. He was an Atlantean pirate, and now he haunts the sea.
And many people have seen this man or this ghost? I will ask.
Oh, well. No one has seen the ghost and survived.
Well, then how do you know about the ghost if no one has survived to tell you about it?
This kind of looks at you. Well, because clearly people are dying out there from the ghost.
But clearly, yes, of course, clearly. She'll say.
Muda. Roll me a d8. Or Mike, rather.
Also 5.
Oh, okay, perfect. That is actually good. You meet a guy by the name of Zonar, who tells you that all around Crystal Point, the waters are red, and there has been copper-colored lightning flashes in the sky lately. And he says that his half-brother, Tonar, is an elder at Krenfak. And he's trying to get back there because he wants to put together a party to investigate. Because the last time that he sailed by, he took his rowboat to the shore, and he found, he looks around and says, this. And he pulls out a platinum coin. And it has an Atlantean trident on one side and a dolphin on the other.
Aha. I will inspect it if he allows me.
Yeah, he does that thing where he like holds on to it. You know? Like he lets you touch it, but he never lets go of it, you know?
Right.
Yeah. It's platinum. I mean, it definitely is platinum coin.
And it is Atlantean.
It's this Atlantean trident on one side and a dolphin on the back. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like any coin you've ever seen before, because Atlantica doesn't use coins like this. This is definitely
Right.
But the trident itself is an Atlantean, which you can tell by the look of it.
So this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps you and your brother could catch a ride with us.
Well, my half brother is already there. He is an elder at Krenfak.
Oh.
Hmm.
Well, perhaps you'd like to ride with us then.
Yeah, I
You
am
would
an
like
excellent
to see
sailor.
your brother, wouldn't you?
Well, there's lots of crews who are offering me passage. So, we're talking an equal share of the treasure, right?
Oh, treasure. I thought I was reuniting you with your brother.
Well, I think my brother may have more information for us, or for those who are able to get it from him.
I see.
Specifically me, because I'm his brother. He winks.
I see. So you thought I was being greedy, and you mistook my kindness for greed.
No. I thought that we were making a deal. And no sailor boards a boat without knowing his percentage. That is the rule of the sea. And he takes out a piece of lotus and starts chewing it.
Bale kind of leans over and he's like, yeah, that's also kind of how it works for mercenaries too. Just saying.
Exactly.
I'm a fisherman and I've never heard that.
Well, you don't know how many fish you're going to have? Your share of the fish at the end of the day?
I was just being kind. That's fine. I mean, so we're looking for a treasure?
Shh, man. And some tables turn and look.
Hold it. I'm not the one who brought up the word treasure. You're the one who said it.
He puts the coin back in his pocket and he gets up and he says, he kind of looks around and he walks out of the place.
I'll lean over to Bale. You think I should have talked to him better?
He just kind of shrugs.
Actually, Rush,
I'll
roll
go
a
run him
D6
down.
for me. Yeah, Rush, roll a D6 for me. Oh yeah, you notice, like, as he's walking out of the bar, two guys get up and kind of suspiciously start to follow him.
Like in a friendly way, or like in a not like, wow, they really are shady and suspicious kind of way?
The second one, right? Like, they definitely don't
So
know him as far as you can tell. Like, they kind of saw him go by, and they waited a second, then they got up, and then they started following.
I lean over to Muda and I say, I think your new friend is Your new friend might be getting ready to get in some trouble.
Well, that's what happens when you start shouting treasure around.
So I kind of look at Buddha and do like this. I'm like,
It-
we let him go, or you feel froggy?
no, I think we should help him.
Okay. Well, twist my arm.
I mean, I would hate for him to see something bad come to him. I mean, before he sees his brother or anything like that.
Very true, my friend. Plus, and then I pat him on the back and I say, impulsive behavior seems to have worked out really well for you in the past, so let us go.
All right, so you guys
Here,
go
here.
off and follow him.
Yeah, why not? Fuck
Yeah,
What could go wrong?
it. Well, either dead in jail or heroes. 1 out of 3 ain't bad.
yeah, possibly all three.
I
Yeah,
know
so
how
you
to
follow him
swim.
on. The rest of you guys probably see these two leave through the front door.
When Brickhill sees them walk out together, she just turns back to the table of guys she's drinking with and says, well, you know, we could take these crab men and crack them all up and make crab cakes one day too. She just ignores Bale and Muda.
Which reminds me, we gave you a bunch of krill bars, Brighild.
Oh,
nice.
Shrimp.
yes.
Shrimp,
like-
basically shrimp power bars.
Oh,
Yep.
they're awesome.
So you have those as well.
A little salty, but
That is true.
If Callista sees them leave, she'll definitely follow them.
You brush them with some curry butter, man. They are fantastic.
Okay. All right. So Callista gets out and starts following. All right. Yeah. So you guys come out into the street, and you don't immediately see him, but you do see about maybe like 5 yards down. There's an alley off to the side.
I'll go down towards the alley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with Muda because
Yeah. As you're approaching, you hear kind of like a voice saying, "Oh, that's all I have. Don't take that. I don't know where." You know, you can hear the voice of I don't know if he would consider you his friend at this point. You just Zona seems to be pleading with somebody. And as you kind of
Right.
get to the alley and you look down, you see these two men with daggers drawn, pointed at him.
Oh, I'll yell at him.
You're gonna yell at the
I'm
guys.
I'll take my hammer off my back so that I'm holding onto it.
I'll go, hey, what do you think you're doing there?
He doesn't look. He doesn't turn around at first. He just says, "This mind your own business. He has something that's ours."
You leave my brother alone.
Kind of turns around slowly, sees you standing there. He sees a giant hammer. Bale. And he
Bill goes,
says,
we're part of the Move Along Club, which means move along. And then I smacked the hammer in my hand. He said, or I'm going to club your ass.
But give him back his stuff first. Whatever you have. Just to be nice.
Well, I mean, okay. You know what? I'm gonna roll here a little more. Yeah, they might drop their stuff at this point. They're not exactly toughest guys in the world. Oh yeah, no, that's a fail. Oh yeah, so they yeah, the one guy he hands back the platinum coin, which is all you took from him, and then he takes it like it goes into his ropes. He pulls out like a bag. You hear some coins jingling, and he like puts it in Zona's hand, and then he has like his hands like this, and he says, "We don't want any trouble."
Is that it? That's all you have?
Well, yeah.
So what about your knife? I mean, you still have knives.
Well, I need the knife. How can I eat?
Well, I think he needs a knife.
I need the knife.
Oh, I don't know if they'll take out their weapons. So I'm gonna go and check here. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, they flip the blades, towards their hands. They stick the handles out, and then Zordar takes the two knives.
I go, thank you. Rel says, have a nice day.
Oh,
And I just
from-
wave at him.
you're from the Temple of Rail. We didn't know.
Yes.
We didn't know. Okay. And they kind of just start moving, kind of try to get past you.
We'll let him pass,
And then they
glaring
kind
at
of-
him as they go.
Yeah, they like beat feet towards one of the boats. And Zernar comes up and he says, he kind of shakes the thing in his hand. He says, everybody gets a fair share. You can divide it up, and he tosses it to Muda.
He goes, oh, no, that's yours. Yeah, perhaps you should not be so free by yelling treasure in a crowded bar.
He breaks the fourth wall and looks at the camera. I think that's probably good advice for everyone. So you have a boat?
Yes, and I'm sure we could find your brother.
Well-
And what did you say? Equal shares of this so-called treasure? Your treasure that we find.
It's not my treasure. It's the treasure of Atlantis. Look at this coin.
I see. Yeah, I've seen it before.
Really? Where?
Well, you just showed it to me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you meant. Okay, that's fine.
Yes, I mean, just over there. Just a few minutes ago.
No, I understand that.
He
Well,
goes, so, would you like to have a drink?
I would like to have a drink.
Okay. I would like to have a drink too.
Okay. He kind of rattles the coins that he has. He says, let's have a drink.
Yes.
He goes
And
and
since you have found new wealth, I think you should buy for us.
of course.
And look at this, a nice pair of knives that you've found too.
Well, would you like a knife? They're just kind of like
Oh, no.
they're clearly the knives from the sailors that they've had for like 10 years out on the sea. They're all marked up and crappy.
No, I have my own knife. But at least now you have something to defend yourself with.
Well, I'm not much of a fighter. I'm more of a tracker navigator.
Oh, a navigator.
That's right.
We might be able to use a navigator.
Indeed. And then at this point, probably Callisto's coming out. I mean, all that happened in 30 seconds. You see them standing at the edge. You see the backs of your two friends as they're looking down an alleyway. You probably saw the other guys walk out too.
I go, Callista, come meet our new friend.
Okay. Yeah, he introduces himself as Zonar. Oh. If you're talking, we can't hear you, Crystal.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had my thing up. Yes, I'm sorry. Callista will come over when Muda calls her over, and she will introduce herself as well.
Yep, he introduces himself as Zonar. I'll get it right eventually. Actually, I'm going to pronounce it as Zonar because that's what it looks like. Even though the phonetic pronunciation is Zanar. It's Zonar to me. So yeah, he introduced himself. He says, I am a sailor, and I will guide your party to a new life. Come, let me buy you... And he kind of looks in the sack to make sure how much money's in there. Let me buy you a drink. He walks in.
He's a navigator.
Oh,
And
I think
a
we need a
treasure
navigator.
hunter.
Well,
He looks
treasure
for treasure.
hunters are fun.
Yeah. I don't know what we would do with another treasure hunter, but
Yeah, since he's back to being, they're tending to him or whatever, I'm just gonna get a drink and go find probably go find Brighild and Pinesta if they're together, and just go sit and have conversation.
Okay. Well, since you didn't get to roll for a rumor, go ahead and make a D8 roll. Let's see if you get anything interesting.
Hold on. Sit back down again. Oh, sorry. Whoops, sorry.
No.
Hold on. Stand by. Need to switch that to everyone. I am an idiot. Sorry. I'm rolling in the Zoom chat.
No.
Not very helpful.
Ah,
I got
Oh.
a 7.
so, maybe it's because this other conversation was going on about Crystal Point. Maybe it's the same people. As you walk by, you hear them talking about an ancient Hyperborean shrine that exists there.
There as in...
On the top of Crystal Point.
Oh. Well, I will still make my way over to the Brighild Pinesta table, if that's an actual thing, and let Pinesta know that, since I know she is a keeper of lore.
Indeed.
Ah,
Okay.
lots of rumors about Crystal Point.
Yeah, heard this while I was getting a drink up at the bar. Could be all talk, though. Who knows? You know
Could be.
how what liquor does with people's lips.
In fact, I do, yes. Well, I heard there's a pirate that haunts the sea around Crystal Point. Crystal Point sounds very fun. We should go there.
Well, the only thing I know is that when we find these large crab men that come up from the bottom of the ocean and they're walking into the islands, they'll probably stand as tall as the white gorilla that you took on, and we're going to take one of them down. And we're going to cut it up and make crab cakes.
Yes. It's like having those little hammers you use when you're picking crabs.
Well, you're the one with the hammer, so you can help
Yeah.
me.
There's a big crab, big hammer. I think we got this covered.
Well, if you're going to make crab that way, we have to make sure Callista has her supply of butter on her.
Yes.
I have it right here.
I mean, we have ration bars made of shrimp, so there's
Ugh.
this is no crazier than that.
Very good. Okay. That went down the wrong way. All right. So yeah. So you by now, with the drinking and the talking, you look out and it's actually dark. Because again, it gets dark at like a little after 4 o'clock.
I order bread and cheese for the table.
All right. Yeah. I mean, there's food and drinks to be had.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, I'm saying you can order them, and conversations with different people. You actually hear throughout. That's pretty much the rumors that you get. But a lot of people, like as one person starts talking about Crystal Point, you start hearing more and more where people are kind of, oh yeah, I've heard that the gods have cursed it. I've heard that lightning strikes Crystal Point every day. I've heard the waters are red around it, which you also heard with another guy. So you do hear quite a bit. Like it seems like the module says the Wharf Taverns buzz with tales of Crystal Point. So it is buzzing with tales.
I introduce our new navigator to the rest of the crew.
Right. Right.
Oh, by the way, this is our new navigator.
Oh,
This is Zonar.
Yep.
hello, Zonar.
He's a Celtic Eskimo. He is a navigator, as mentioned. He's probably about 20 years old, you would imagine. He's got a lot of tattoos. He uses foul language, so he's clearly a sailor. Um, but there's not much to him. You know, he's got kind of no armor or anything on. He does have 2 daggers for some reason, but otherwise, he seems to be just kind of a.
And he likes treasure. But we're not
Every
gonna
time
say
Rudy
that
says something like
too
that, he like
loud.
gets up and goes and gets a drink. So he's pretty drunk by now because he keeps getting up every time Muda opens his mouth. But the place is getting a bit rowdy as the night goes on, and yeah, what do you guys want to do? Would you like to seek a place to stay in town, or do you want to investigate someplace else besides this tavern?
We need to find a place to stay, but I think, well, it's dark, but we need to eventually probably visit the Rel Temple. I know, Muda, you haven't seen the temple to Rel here in Zymbala. This is where I was actually baptized into
right.
the religion.
This will be interesting.
Yes. Yes,
Yep.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, so, if anybody else wants to, you know,
Well,
I know
I would
that that Bale was thinking about getting baptized.
I would like to go visit that library. They have quite
Yeah.
a collection of poems to read and choose from.
The one that you
Bale
were at
is
earlier.
just
The one you were at earlier. The
Yes,
observatory.
yeah.
All right. You're gonna leave the bar and just go back there.
Well, I mean, like, if we're getting ready to leave, I mean, like, we're talking about what we're going to do.
Oh, okay.
Do we know how long it is before they have the the ringing of bells to shut the town down?
Yeah, that happens at 8, I believe 8 p.m. And it's probably like maybe in a couple hours. You got maybe a couple hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we should probably find a place to stay before that happens.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's winding down here because you would probably realize that most of these sailors are just going to get drunk till they can barely walk and then just walk literally across the pier to get on their boat. So they're mostly just stay there.
Well, Vanessa,
brothers.
you had mentioned the place that you stayed at when you were here before. Do you think we should go there or not?
Saturn's Luck? Well, there's much better rooms that we could have at this point.
Yeah, you know where the finest place is.
I do, but I'm not going to go stay there.
Why
So why don't we
not?
get some rooms? Oh, it's the Caravanserai or Caravansari, however you say it, and it's I have history there.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Well, if they know you, then we should be able to get a discount. Right?
Unless it's a bad history.
It's a complicated history.
Well, those also usually don't give discounts.
I see.
I think I would
Perhaps
rather
we should
stay
avoid it then.
the nicer rooms that we stayed in before. If we could get those again.
Right, you
We have a
basically
little
rent it
money.
like a flat, basically. Yeah,
Right.
I'm sure you could find something like that on that same, in that same kind of general area where the Saturn's Luck is. Yeah, you can set yourself up with that. Probably costs like, well, you guys say for 3 days, so we'll say for everybody it'll be like 50 gold total.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, I can't do that.
Well,
No,
I'll
totally.
pay for it.
I can do that. Yeah, I can help.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only caroused 10% last time, remember? I actually saved my money. As we passed by the barber where Tan always went to get his shave and his stuff, I kind of smiled to myself thinking of Tan.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, there was something I was going to say about the 10 did something in here last time, but I forgot what it was now. So yeah, but yeah, that's right, the barber. So yeah, you guys, you get your rooms, and if you're just kind of, then eventually you hear the bell ring, and assuming that you're not going to like hit the streets, you can pass the night, and then the next morning will come. The rooms come with like food, like they bring food to you in the morning and stuff like that. And, as you're breaking fast. Well, actually, the bell rings at 6 o'clock in the morning, even though it's still dark. So you can certainly go out in the dark, but that's up to you. But around 7, ish, they start bringing the food around and stuff. So, but let's say if you wait till it gets light out, you can kind of hit the streets of Zymbala and see what you want to do. You've got 2 days till the map comes. If there's anything else you want to do in Zymbala. If not, then we can just cut forward. I mean, you don't have to do anything in Zymbala if you don't want to, but you're here.
I heard the rumor about those copper mines. I would like to go to the library and see if I can find any information on that.
Okay.
Yeah, Bricky's going with Callista to the library. She wants to do some research too.
Okay, excellent. Is anybody else, you guys going to split up, or is everybody just going to go together? What's the rest you want to do?
I still want to go to the Rel Temple. If
Okay.
that's-
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll go with them.
Okay, cool.
we'll take Zonar too.
I've been to a
Right.
library before. I've never been to a real temple.
Calista and her entourage.
Baptisms for everybody.
Ah,
All right, yeah. So you guys head over to the Temple of Rel, and the other two head to the library. So of course the library / observatory. We'll do that one first, I guess. So you're looking for what is Brighill looking for information on, Tony?
She goes up to the one of the old man, maybe away from Callista, and she goes, I need to study up on any type of maybe old ways to make dyes and such, particularly red dyes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and he can advise you different plants that grow around that you can use to make dyes, for sure.
Yep. And she'll sit there and take notes and look or whatever while Callista's doing her research.
Okay. Yeah. So if you do a bit of research, Calista, you find that the crabmen are known for having mining operations, mostly run or run, I guess is the word. I don't know. Mostly slaves are in them. They use slaves, basically slave labor. And they mine all kinds of hard metals, including copper.
Okay. And there is is there any mention about how many caves there are or anything like that? Is it known?
No, the archipelago is loaded with mines and stuff like that, and there's no, because most of those islands are not really, we'll say, friendly to just people just showing up. They're basically run by the crabmen, so nobody really knows. I mean, the crabmen probably know.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Okay, so over at the Temple of Rel, you've got the big doors in the front. Should be open by now, I guess. Let's see. Grotto of Rel. The facade opens directly into a sandstone cliff inside a cavern complex. Okay, so where's my little? Remember there was a little thing that I used to read when you came here. The doors are barred after eventide bell, but okay, that's fine. You're coming when it's open. Okay, okay, right. So you come into this basically it's a cave, there's big formal doors. But when you open it up, it's essentially a cave that's been carved out. And in the center of the large space, you can see that there is a fountain, pool with the statue of Rel in the center. He's got his hat on, and he's peeing, in the fountain.
Yep. And I'll go put a few coins in and tell Muda this is where I was baptized.
Oh, he also has winged sandals. Sorry, I knew he was wearing something else besides the hat. He has a hat and sandals.
And
then he's
sandals.
peeing.
Yep.
Yeah, and there are about 4 or 5 people in here, kind of praying, and they're doing the same thing. They're throwing offerings of gems and coins inside. And praying basically.
excuse me.
And you see a couple like acolytes, kind of hanging out for anybody who wants to speak with them as before. And there's, the two of them are standing kind of by a passageway that you went down there, right? Vanessa? No, what was that? Did you
That's
go down there?
Zulia.
Okay. So, but you know that she went down there. Weren't you with her when you went down there?
Yeah, I was here.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah. So you know that she went down there. That leads down to basically a private area. So if you were to try to go down the stairs, they would stop you. Otherwise, they're just kind of standing around. So yeah, beautiful statue of Rel.
Yeah.
Taking care
I
of
lean
business in the
over
middle.
to I lean over to Bale and I go, Rel thinks you should hop in the fountain.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
We've had many discussions about religion, but in all honesty, and he kind of looks at both of you, and he's like, have you noticed that pledging yourself to this god, this deity, has actually brought you any kinds of boon or
Yes.
good?
Yes, it has.
Oh, has it
When
now?
I first left Xambaala, it was in a kind of chaotic way, and Rel helped me to escape from my pursuers.
Well,
I called upon him, and the potion that I drank turned out to not be poison.
See, there you have it. Just like that.
In fact, it was very helpful. It helped us escape.
I sure did.
I see.
And it was Rel too.
That was, yep.
Well,
It's so peaceful. It's just water.
I'm not afraid of the water.
I think you are.
I'll still be able to.
Sounds like you are.
No.
What?
Stepping into the water is not just getting my feet wet; it's stepping into the unknown.
You don't think that Rel has not been with you so far?
Well, I assume so. I mean,
Has Rel been with you?
You've been by my side, so obviously he's been here. She's been by my side, so obviously he's been here. But will I still be allowed to fight and do all the things as I do them now?
Oh my God, man! Just get in the water.
Well, there's actually like a baptismal ceremony thing. So if you want to actually become a worshiper, basically we should talk to one of the acolytes.
I'm not afraid of.
Just go in the water. It's okay.
You gotta let him pee on you.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Just go.
Well.
No one will think bad of you.
Wouldn't be the first time I've been peed on. There was this one time, and a lot of us were really, really drunk, and at least this is just a statue, isn't it?
You can talk to one of the acolytes if you really want to get baptized.
I'll bring him over. We'll see what he has to say. I mean, I trust the both of you, so I don't see where.
It's okay, because it's fine, because if you did, you would have done it already. Rel thinks you're a coward, but that's fine.
I did not realize that you were ordained to speak on his behalf.
What?
My understanding of Rel was that he kind of did his own thing.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
I kind of do my own thing too.
You do. That you do.
Well, and am I not his mouthpiece then?
I don't know.
So get in the water.
You hear a voice who rolled one in his sneaking up check, so nobody's on. A man's voice. He says, well, "I don't think I would do that if I was you."
Oh, and I look over at I look at Muda for a minute, and then I glance over at the man talking. I say, "Well, I'm afraid if my friend here were not so diminutive, he would have just simply hoisted me and tossed me into the fountain by now. So why is it not a good idea?"
Well, you. This is one of the acolytes.
Yes.
He says, "Well, all things in due course. You don't force yourself upon Rel. You must wait until Rel is prepared to receive you."
In other words, rushing me is one thing, but rushing the man himself, and he points at the statue, is something altogether different.
Yes, but look at his sandals and look at mine. Okay, who has walked more, him or me? I believe the Wanderer knows me more than it knows him. Just get in the water.
Wow. Okay, you're saying that you have traveled more than Rel? All right.
No, I
I'm
say
pretty
that
sure that's what you exactly just said. Okay, good. That's good to
I
know.
said that I have
Nope.
traveled more than this acolyte here.
Oh, I see.
My friend, I do trust you. Truly, I do. But this man is an acolyte of the Church of Rel. And the last thing, if what you say about Rel is true,
Yes.
the last thing that I want to do is start off my personal relationship with Rel on his bad foot. If the clergy says that this is how it should be, then
I don't think that's possible.
but there's an important word in there. You don't think that it's possible.
Well, listen, just because
Why take the chance?
he doesn't, well, look at him. What does he know? He sits in here all day.
Yes, and studies quite a bit, I'm assuming.
What? Okay, what have you studied? I have walked the world. That is what Rel does. What have you studied? Where have you walked?
He just kind of looks at you and he says, I think maybe it's time for you to leave.
Oh,
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 oh.
Maybe there is a bad foot, my friend.
Oh no. It's one of those types.
Mm-hmm. He's just
That's
smiling at
fine.
you. It would be in
see.
your best interest, I must say.
It would be in my best interest, I think.
My lady Penesta, fair and wise.
It's fine. I understand. Just get in the water and I'll leave, and you can talk to the acolyte on his terms. And after he's shooken the money out of you, then you and Rel can come to a contractual agreement. Until then, me and Rel are going to be dancing in the streets. I'll see you later.
All right, my friend. I'm sorry. And then I look over at Panessa and I say, my lady with wisdom, what do you suggest?
I suggest listening to the acolyte.
He seems
Muda's worship seems, I don't know, much more fervent than I've experienced.
It also seems very much like his actions. The word escapes me. Very just kind of does like that. And he says the acolyte does seem quite convicted.
Yeah, the acolyte nods and he says, I believe what you have amongst you is what we call a fanatic.
Oh, well.
And the problem with fanatics is that they lose sight of the true meaning of things.
Perhaps, but I will say that I have seen the man in action. And he well, I'll just leave it at that. But no, if you say that it should be done by a particular ritual and that is how Rel deems it, then as I tried to explain to my friend, I do not wish to start off an angry Rel is not a good Rel, and I don't want to start off with him angry at me. Seems the wiser choice.
He says, why don't you think upon the teachings of Rel, and when the time is right, you will come back.
Perhaps we would give it an evening. I've spent many a night speaking of religion with both the one you call a fanatic, but also with this woman of prose. And so I have seen both sides. I shall sleep on it. Sound fair?
We will be here.
All right.
Yeah, they're pretty
Feel free-
laid back here.
Feel
I
feel free to throw some coins in the fountain. He turns around and walks away.
Wait, I needed to, I wanted to ask him a question.
Oh, he turns
my
around.
good man.
Oh, yes.
I will say, my Muda may be a fanatic, but he's a good companion nonetheless. So
Oh, sure. One who,
Yeah.
with such conviction, is probably good when you need that, but
Yes,
maybe
he
not
is.
so good when you don't.
Well, isn't that rel though? Sometimes. Yes, but anyway, have you heard of a pirate called Belzatos?
Bill Santos, pirate.
Rel might
Is
take an
that-
interest in pirates now and then.
Is that an Atlantean name?
It is, yes.
I have not, but let me ask the other brothers.
Okay.
And he turns and he walks over to the two guys that are kind of guarding the stairs, and he asks them, let's see if they know anything. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he comes back, he says, they're quite convinced that it is a legend of the sea. Perhaps a pirate like that existed at one point, but is now mostly thought of as a ghost that steals men's souls.
Okay.
Right. Normally, a pirate might steal your treasure, but stealing your soul is, that might be beyond what a pirate wants. He smiles.
Well, I appreciate the help.
You are welcome.
Yeah, she'll throw a few more coins into the fountain.
As will I.
All right. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, he nods and turns around and goes back over, and they kind of hover around the edges until they see somebody that seems like they need advice.
Right.
They move very quietly up to you. But yeah, you go out, Mood is out front, kicking the dirt with his sandals, I guess.
It is true that your sandals are more well traveled, Muda.
Yeah, I don't see what the problem was. But
I just
I-
think rel worship here is less fervent.
I understand that. I didn't mean to. Yes, I didn't mean to lessen the place that you were baptized at. I
Yes.
guess. They can't help it that they're stuck in a cave all the time.
Well, they seem to place more of a value on ritual and ceremony than perhaps other temples of Rel do, and you may not agree with it, and such is your right. But if this is the place that I am to have my baptism, then I am compelled to do it their way.
Okay.
I mean, hopefully you would understand.
Yeah, I will, but I don't think Rel will. But that's okay.
Well,
Yeah.
if he didn't care for the place, I'm sure he would have had it struck down and had it fall upon hard times or
Well, that's not what Rel does.
whatever kinds of. Well,
He
I'm
wouldn't
sure
do that.
he can affect the fortunes. I'm sure. So.
No, he doesn't care.
Well,
I shall sleep on it for a night nonetheless.
That's fine. I'm not, like I said, I'm sorry. I feel like I have stuck my foot in it, and I took something that was special, possibly to both of you, And I apologize.
You have no need to apologize, my friend. You are what you are, and it's one of the reasons why we like you.
Yep.
Yep.
I'll clap him on the shoulder and say,
Yep.
no offense taken, Muda.
Yep.
Everybody believes differently.
Yep.
Okay. So who wants to go get the money out of the fountain?
Maybe after the baptism. For
I will
now,
say I had a friend named Kassan who fell afoul of the Temple of Rel at one point, and I don't think we want to do that.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll just drop a coin at the bar. I shall buy you a drink, my friend.
They may seem laid back, but they protect their
See, they're deceitful little devils, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not real. That's not real.
And with that, I'll open the door and kind of. Oh no, we already went outside, so I'll just motion down the street and say, "Well,
let's just go. Yeah.
come and let us go."
Yeah, let's.
And I look at Panesta and I say, "We don't want to spin the lad up yet again."
Nope. And I don't need to fall afoul of anybody else in this.
Yes.
Indeed. Okay, so I guess I'm assuming you guys are rendezvous. Is there anything else you guys want to do in Zymbala before you?
No.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. Yep,
Not-
go ahead.
One last question, Daniel.
Mhm.
Since Callista knows that this copper is apparently on shortage or something, does she know of any like uses for copper of, say, a magical nature or anything?
I mean, probably not of any large quantity. Copper is often used for, decorative purposes and obviously coinage.
Okay,
But
all right.
mostly where you would see it is in, that's used to decorate. That's where they sell a lot of it or bring a lot of it in, like do like domes of buildings and that kind of stuff. Statues, cladding. Okay. Do something here.
Tempting to go to the. No.
Yeah. So you go back to your rooms. And you guys meet up, you have dinner or whatever, and then it's the third day, and you're gonna go get your map. You get up, just like you did before.
During the second day, could I have watched Saturn?
Yeah, if you want to go watch Saturn, you would do that. You were in the same place, so you could have seen Saturn, sure.
Yeah, she would
Roll
have.
D6.
Okay. 6.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it's awesome because you can see Saturn, but it's quite cloudy, so you don't really gain any extra knowledge of it. That you didn't already have. Kind of see what you expected to see, which is cool, but not anything. You didn't find anything extra cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So, day 3. All right. Yeah. So you guys head back to the library, and when you get there, the two men are there with the one guy has the map, and he you already gave him 20 gold pieces, right?
Yeah, I did.
No, he's got it. Has all the different currents, and again that Callisto or Brickhill can work out, which will help with your and also Zonar can. And yeah, he takes it. He gives you the map, shows it to you. It looks, you obviously never showed them what you did, so, but your map rather. So yours is transparent, of course, so you can put it on top of it. You can do that in privacy, obviously, and that will probably help you hopefully to direct where you need to go. Although Zonar seems to know where it is. Yeah. Did you want to explore around Zymbala and see if anything's changed, or you don't care? You're just moving on. It's only Prenesta that would. Well, I guess Brighild was here, but it was mostly Prenesta that has any connection here at all.
What is up to exploring?
Let me just walk
I'll
past.
be good.
Yeah, I'm just more acting as bodyguard at this point, so.
I wonder if Valkyria is still here. Prenesta will wonder to herself.
Might be.
Yeah, okay. All right. I want to go to the caravanserai.
Oh, you do want to go? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to bring the whole group?
If they want to come.
I want to come. I love seeing new cities.
Cool. Yeah. I if you want, if you want to walk past the general area of the oh my God, the Coliseum thing, the arena, I should say called. As you go by it, you see that it's actually been rebuilt. Because you saw it burn down.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been rebuilt. Like I say, you've been here for a couple of days. It seems like things are just like they were. It's like it's almost exactly the same. You don't really see much change at all.
Okay.
At least on the surface. And yeah, if you head over to where the caravanserai is, which is right here, again, it looks exactly. Of course, that didn't burn down. It pretty much looks exactly the same as it did before. It's a few years older, but it is. Get my little.
Yeah, I'll tell the group. A friend of ours took a job here. I don't know if she's still working here. Friend of mine, I guess. Everyone else
Yeah, I
is
don't
gone.
think Brighild ever met her. Yeah, if you go to the front gate, if you remember, there was like a gated area with some couple of guards out front, and they greet you and they say,
yeah.
Are you looking for a room?
No, I was seeing if a friend of mine still works here. Valkyria?
Oh, sure. We know Valkyria. She has left.
Oh, shame.
Pretty recently. She said she was going into the desert to learn magic, of all things.
That actually makes sense from what I remember of her.
No. We have plenty of other women, though, if you want to come in. And the finest pomegranate wine.
Yes. I have tasted the pomegranate wine here. It is the best. But I think I'll pass. If she's not here, there's no reason for me to go in.
Okay.
Yeah.
You kind of shrug.
I'm not really going to endanger everybody by going in there. That would be selfish of me. And Prenesta's not really selfish, so.
Okay. Okay, cool. So then you go back. So
Yep.
You've got your map, and I guess you're planning on leaving tomorrow, or unless you just want to leave immediately. Because you have your rooms. You got to go back to your rooms, right? You're going to check out. Are you going to just leave now? Or are you at night, or are you going to leave in the morning?
We should probably leave in the morning.
Yes, I think that would be best.
No, fair
You'd be
enough.
proud of me, Brighild. I didn't get involved this time. I will say that to Brighild.
Yes, I am proud of you. Maybe one day, in a couple more years, we can come back and you can do what you should do or need to do.
Yes. One day.
Okay. Yeah, you go back to your rooms and, spend the night, whatever. And, you're kind of, after the bell rings, You're kind of hunkered down, eating or whatever. And, if you can't, Muhammad doesn't go to the mountain, right? As they say. There's a knock on your door.
On the door to our room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm not just going to open it. Who is it?
I bring a message. It's a female voice.
From whom?
Aramis.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. I'll open the door.
Okay. Yep. There's a young woman there. She's probably like in her late teens, and she has a parchment that's folded and like sealed with sealed wax. She hands it to you.
Thank you. I'll give her, tip, cup of gold. Yep.
She's thank you, and she turns and starts to walk away. And you kind of if you kind of look out, you see her walking. You see there's a couple of guys, men in like chain shirts and swords. They basically are guarding her. She walks and they follow her. And they go off into the night.
Is the message? Is there a P on it? Is it addressed to me or just our party?
That's a good question. It doesn't. There's no name on it at all. I mean, Aramis doesn't know anybody else.
I know. I just, All right. I'll read it. What does it say?
Oh, okay. You break open the seal and you open it up, and it's just very simple, and it just says, "A shame we didn't get to have a drink." And then it's signed with an A.
Okay. All right. I'll look at Brighild and I'll say, what do you make of this?
Well, it would seem his network of people who watch discovered you probably from the time that we arrived. Do you want to sneak out and go chat with him? Did he, where he usually hangs out or would meet you?
I suppose I should see if there's something he can tell us. He's a learned man, if nothing else.
Well, I will go with you, but I think we should keep this from the others for now.
Okay.
Okay, you're gonna
That's
go now
fine.
at night. Of course, you're not first level characters anymore, so it's probably a lot safer for you. Yeah, you can go now if you want.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, nobody stops you. Obviously, it's not illegal to be out at night. It's just,
Dangerous.
dangerous, or, as you learned one time. But yeah, you're able to try to make your way across the city of Zymbala without, let me just make sure. Yeah. You cross the bazaar, it's empty. The streets are basically empty. You hear some drunkards, and some of the taverns are open. It's not like nobody's ever out at night. And yeah, you show back up at the Caravacione. Instead of standing on the street now, of course the guards are inside, but they're still there. Probably two different guards now, like it's nighttime.
I'll go up to him. I'll say, I received a message
Oh,
from my dear friend who runs this place. I'd like, if you would, tell him that I'd like to have that drink now.
okay. So they nod. One guy, this is just like last time, right? So I'm doing you, but one guy stays at the gate, the other guy runs back in. Do you give him the note, or you just say that?
I'm just going to say that. No, the note
Okay.
stays with me.
Yeah. You probably just because you know, and maybe just instinct would do it. You kind of probably like look up and you see because you remember where he's got that balcony up there. You see some
Yep.
movement, and then shortly thereafter, or after a couple, like a minute or so, the guard runs back out that was there, and they open the gates for you.
Okay. I think at break, I say, "Are you going to come in with me?" I don't
Well,
think you
of
should wait.
course.
Okay. Good. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. See. Okay. She takes the bait. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So you walk in, and to your left are these beautiful gardens. To the right is an area where they park the wagons and stuff. You kind of walk past the stabling area, and then to your left is the main building that has essentially what is a bar. And by the way, the guard doesn't come with you. They let you in, and then they just kind of, you know, I guess assume that you know where you're going. So you walk down and you know basically how to get in, and you turn. There's some doors there. It opens up into kind of like this the tavern-y bar area where they have the separate rooms with the girls, and then there's like a bar. And
Right.
sitting at one of the tables is Aramis, and he stands up when he sees you. He's about halfway. Like there's a couple tables right by the door, but like about halfway into the room, there's a table that he was sitting at, and he stands up when he sees you, and then he says, "Ah, it's been so long," and he kind of sticks his hand out like this, you know, to come.
Yep. I go over there, and yes, it has.
Please,
Few
please
years it's
sit.
been.
You know, he says, please sit.
This is Aramis. This is my friend Brighild. I'm sure you know of her.
Yes, I have heard much of your adventures.
Really?
Well, you've become quite famous, Vanessa, in the time that you've been gone.
Oh, well, you flatter. You flatter, Aramis.
Please, though, have a drink. Sit. And then he like snaps his fingers, and from behind the bar, a young serving woman brings like a jug of pomegranate wine and cups, and puts it down on the table. Then she stands there for a second to see if he looks at you to see if you want anything else, and if you don't.
Would
say
you
anything
have
else,
any snacks or anything made out of shrimp by chance?
Yeah.
the girl looks at Aramis for a second, and then he nods, and then she shakes her head, and she runs back into the kitchen. And
Is it just the two of them that went?
yeah,
Yes.
I think that they didn't tell you guys.
We didn't tell you.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm not sure exactly how it cut out without telling you. They were like, "We're gonna go, and we'll be right back."
Oh, you know, it's great.
Yeah.
Bale would have just looked at it as they're going for girl talk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Aramis is mine.
He knows better than to interfere.
But actually, before we do this, let's take a break because it's 9 o'clock, and then we'll have this conversation with Aramis and see where it leads us.
Not making us feel any better.
All right. And we're back. Okay, yeah. So the servant girl, she leaves to go get the shrimp. Aramis picks up the pitcher of pomegranate wine and pours 3 glasses, and then puts it down, and then takes a sip from his, and he says, "I remember years ago, Panesta, when you helped me with a problem."
Well, it was mutual. You helped me as well.
Right. Well, friends do that.
Yes.
Well, it seems
friends
that
do that.
the problem may have been deeper than I originally thought. There's something
Oh, really?
going on. Rumors of things from the underborough rising. And there was a time of peace, well, shortly after a time of violence. You remember the time of violence, of course. But the council had forbidden or removed the slave class, and anyone who was to have a slave should pay them. Well, it didn't go as we thought. It seems that many of the crueler slave owners are paying their slaves less than essentially they would have gotten as slaves, just getting food and shelter, which has caused more problems. And shall we say, people are going missing again. But that's not your problem. What I wanted to ask you to help me with is something a little different than that.
I'm listening, and she'll take a sip of her wine.
I think the Witch Queen may be making a move. For 600 years, she's ruled from her strange structure there in Lotharian. But more and more, there's been rumors of her having slavers take Hyperboreans to her for who knows what purpose. And Zolthun. Do you know Zolthun? You actually might know him. You give a 4 and 6 of knowing him because you're from Khromarium.
Okay. All right. I'll roll that. Oh, yeah, I got a 2.
Yep. He's a Hyperborean noble and a merchant out of Khromarium. So you and I. So Zol, his 2 children, 2 of his children, were taken by slavers recently as they were heading up the coast. And we believe that they are headed towards the Krenfan.
Oh,
Yes. Tartok, the slaver, apparently has taken the ship, taken their ship or taken them from their ship, I should say, and sunk the ship. And we know that she is connected to the Council of Elders in Krenfak, and often sells slaves to the copper mines. But we don't believe that she's going to take the children there, as they would serve a much greater reward to bring to the Witch Queen. But last the boat was seen, it was headed towards the archipelago, though.
the Crab Archipelago.
Yes. If these children could
And
be
you-
saved, that would bring, obviously, favor, which is something that's always good to have, as you know, but also
Yeah.
could help deter whatever the Witch Queen is up to.
Last seen headed towards Krenpuk.
That's what we suspect, my men.
This Tartok.
Mhm.
You said she sank their boat. Does she have? So she has her own.
That's correct. She has a boat. It's it's like your boat. Well, you have a junk, but it's like the same size as your boat.
Okay.
Yes, she took her typical setup is she raids a boat, takes their supplies, takes the sailors, sinks the boat, and that seems to be what she did. So she probably has the sailors, which, I mean, all life is precious. Don't get me wrong. He sips his drink, his big fat hands with his covered in jeweled rings. But the Hyperborean children, I think, are the most important part of this.
Well, it is true. All life is precious, and this Tartok sounds like a nasty piece of work.
Aren't all slavers?
Well, yes, they are.
Brickhild has been eating her food, and she kind of licks her fingers and washes down the wine, and she looks at Aramis and goes, "This woman you speak of, that is the pirate woman with the ship. Does she have some type of magical powers that she uses also? She sounds a pretty phenomenal opponent."
Not that we know of. I believe that her power is a power that, I see that both of you possess as well. The power of beauty. She has loyal men that will die for her and kill for her.
Well, if we were to retrieve these children, how do we get in touch with Zolthun, or are you acting as intermediary?
Well, if you could have the children brought to Zymbala, then I could, of course, get, as you know, I have many caravans moving back and forth. I could easily transport them, unless you plan to go back to Khromarium. I'm not sure what your plans are, but we could get them back from here.
All right. And what kind of reward? You mentioned rewards, and we are business people in the end. What kind of
course.
rewards are we looking at?
Well, I know that the Witch Queen will pay 3,000 gold for each. So I think that's probably a fair reward, no?
You're not going to sell them to the Witch Queen.
No, of course not. If I was to do that, why not just... How could you think that of me?
I'm just, it's been a while and people change.
No, I have no intention of doing that. I'm saying that that's the going price for a Hyperborean slave. So I'm sure that as a bounty, the family would pay that if you so desire.
Mm. Well, we can talk about that if I find them. I look at Brickhilt, kind of like, what do you think?
Well, it would seem that is a fair trade of business. It seems like he does possess these business skills you've spoken of before, and I believe the three of us speaking will be our word will be bond.
Oh, Aramis keeps his word. That I know.
And he says, and if you take the children by violence and Tartok falls, then clearly the you could add a new ship to your business endeavor.
That is true. I'm glad to know your network of spies is still intact, since you know we're headed towards.
Ah, I have no spies. People talk. You know how it is.
Of course. She'll smile back at him.
And if we happen to bring this Terratok back in, say, chains, what kind of reward is there for her?
Yeah, good question.
Oh, that is a good question. Let's see. I mean, she's a slaver. Let's say 5,000 gold pieces.
Nice.
If you could bring her back to stand trial.
Yes, because you know, with me, violence is always the last resort.
Well, of course. I mean, if you can take the children, stereotypes, if you can steal the children, that is also fine. I just do not want the Witch Queen to have them. Well, and of course, I feel for Zul having for his loss, but honestly, I she's up to something.
What do you think? I mean, you have vast knowledge of certain things. What do you think she's up to? Why would she want Hyperboreans?
I do not know. What we got from some willing captives who gave up some information was something about worms of the earth.
Worms of the earth. Oh, that does not sound very good for Xambaala.
Or Hyperborea. As noted, I think that my fear is that there is a passage to the Underborough, where you did the other deed. And I fear that may be where they come from. And as you say, that is not good for Zymbala.
Speaking of the other deed that we did, have you seen evidence of them? Because I have encountered those types of creatures now in my travels again. And I don't know if they're trying to make another move here. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he looks at you for a second. He says, I have not seen any. But I'm not a warrior, and people are fearful to go out there. But, again, when it's strangers that disappear, nobody seems to care. But with the rising tide, eventually these ex-slaves will take whoever they want, including, and probably starting with, their former owners.
Right. Well, since I am heading that way with my crew, I will take your commission. We will look for these children and attempt to bring them back, and we will attempt to take Tartok as well and bring her back so that she may stand before the council. And the satrap, of course.
Oh yes, the satrap is will deliver justice as the Witch Queen commands.
No, wait. The satrap will deliver justice, not as the Witch Queen commands.
Well, you might know this actually, so I'm just going to say that she assigns the satrap here. Like she controls the satrap. It's her. Yeah, it's her. Like she puts the person in that position.
She controls the satrap.
Well, I mean, not like maybe magically you don't know that, but yeah, she places. She's in charge of who the satrap is. Because this is part of her nation, basically. So the satraps is in a assigned position that she would.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's starting to see what's okay.
Right. So, right. She assigns that person. Luckily, he says well, this satrap doesn't seem so interested in running Zymbala, thankfully. So we've established a council to handle most of the day to day. The young boy just
Yes,
likes
I've
to
heard.
run around and use his power to, shall we say, sow seeds.
Yes. The young ones, as she says at like 22 years old.
Yeah. Well,
Yes, I've heard that you are a big presence on the council. I'm glad that you, at least somebody I can trust, is overseeing things.
yes, it's good to have friends. He smiles.
Very good. Very good to have friends. I'm glad we had this drink.
You know,
Yes, and the food was excellent also.
yes, it was good to meet you, Bricula. I've heard much about you and your stories, stories of your journeys. I hope to meet the rest of those you speak of in your tales. They travel on the caravan lines now, Vanessa.
If the tidings do us well, we will return and we will all have dinner.
Yes.
Yes. And feel free to stay, if you like. This is the finest inn in Xambaala.
Maybe next time I will stay.
Yeah. And then he says,
Let's see if make sure there's no other questions.
okay, yeah. If once you have other questions and you're getting ready, if you have something else you can say, but if you start to have to leave or whatever, he gets up and whatever. And he says, oh, I heard that you were asking about your friend, Valkyria.
Yes.
She had a desire to do more things, to move on. So I have sent her to be trained. We can use all the magic, if you will, that is available to us if the Witch Queen sees what's going on.
So it's obvious she does not know you're working or suspect her.
Let us hope not. And he laughs.
Yes. Yes, let us hope not. All right. Well, thank you, Aramis, for this this information. And that's what I wanted to ask. The reason I came here to begin with. Have you heard stories of Crystal Point, or do you know if any of the ones that we've heard are true?
There's much talk of Crystal Point. Seems that the waters have turned red. Strange electrical storms in the skies. Strange this is happening right around the time that Saturn is closest to Hyperborea. But I'm no astronomer.
But they could be linked. I have someone who might be able to help me with that, who studies things like this in my party.
Oh, excellent. Oh, I almost forgot. On the docks in the morning, you'll find some trade goods. You do not want to show up at... I forget the name of the place, sorry. Cranfuck, empty-handed.
Oh yes, what do they trade there?
They trade. Well, they look for, which is what he's got for you. Goods like sewn goods, like blankets and stuff. That's what he has for you. Also, there's some copper ornaments that he said you should use as gifts for the council. But what they produce is like that they produce furs. They've got a pretty heavy like a fur industry, and also they like syrup, like maple syrup, but it's not maple,
Okay.
but basically syrup. And of course all the different silver and copper and such that the crabmen harvest that goes through Krenfak, because that's pretty much the only island that most people are allowed to go to that far out, anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Aramis.
The people there, though, that's what they do: furs and syrup. I'm trying to think what they call it, but it's basically syrup.
Well, thank you, Aramis. I suppose I owe you for that. What do I owe you for that?
Oh, don't worry about it.
I would like to not owe you. So what
Oh, I see.
can I do in return?
I need nothing right now. If you want to pay for the goods, that's also fine. I mean, they're trade goods. You're going to get paid when you bring it over. Just take your share as the shipper and give me the rest.
That sounds fair. Okay. All right. I think that's it for now.
Okay. He sticks out his hand, shake your hand or whatever,
Yep. I'll give him my hand. Yeah.
and same with
Hands.
Brigil if she'll do it.
Oh yeah.
And then you see he turns and he's kind of slides his chair back out and he looks and there's still some wine left in the jug and he pours it in, picks up the glass, and he sits down and kind of watches you leave.
Okay. Look at
There's a
Brigil. I
glint in his
say,
eye.
yeah, right. His eyes go all snake. No. I look at Brigil. I say, well, I still don't trust him, but I think that has a legitimate concern here. So we'll look for these Hyperborean youth and decide what we do with them if we can find them.
Yes, I agree. And he's a businessman. I think he will stand up to his part of the bargain. Hopefully we can talk to Calesta and see if maybe she has any type of spell maybe she could study that would help bind this pirate woman or something. Maybe would help bind her or something that we can bring her back without her trying to escape from us.
I agree. And I know she's been to the library too, and she's looked at Saturn the other night, so maybe she can tell us something about the stars and maybe the strange things happening up at Crystal Point. But yeah, Aramis will keep his side of the bargain. I'm sure of that.
Well, we will see what we can do to keep our side then.
Exactly.
I'm gonna write this.
Or at least I
so
have to
don't
bring
forget.
him his money.
Yeah.
Because I do not want to be in his debt. Oh, no.
You don't want to be in debt to Aramis? Come on.
No.
Poor innocent Aramis. All right. So yeah, you're able to get back to the apartments that you're staying in. The rest of the crew is still there, I guess, unless you guys wanted to go out. Did you guys go anywhere while they were gone?
Could I go to the library to study more on Crystal Point since I now know that that's where we're going and everything?
Well, you wouldn't go at night. They went off in the
Okay.
middle of the night. Yeah. I mean, it'd be closed. I mean, you could go over there, but it'd be closed.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah. So I forgot where you are. Where's Zymbala? Oh, too low. Okay. Yeah, you can go on the next day if you want. If you don't want to leave yet, you guys going to get up and I don't know what Prenester and Brigil when you get back if you're gonna how much they're gonna tell them about what went on or.
Well, I think we have to tell them because
Oh yeah.
no, yeah,
Okay.
I would tell them everything. I mean, I wouldn't, not everything. I would tell them that I was contacted by one of my, previous, one of the people I'd previously encountered when I was in Xambaala last time. And I wasn't sure how he'd react to me showing up with a whole group, so I just took Brighild with me since she was here, and I will give them all the information that Aramis gave us. If that's okay with Brighild that I say it that way.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So if you did want to go study more at the library, you could spend another day here. Of course, the trade goods are already on the dock for you, but I mean, you can wait to get them, I guess, or bring the ship and pick them up and go back up.
If Finesta asks me like specifically about those things, then I would like to study specifically about those things.
Okay, but also know that there are children that were kidnapped. So, I mean, if you want to spend time researching, you can do that. But
Okay,
I would
mean,
probably
like,
go ahead.
I won't do any research if we're in a hurry.
Calesta, maybe you go and do research while we have the ship loaded and stuff for at least an hour or so, whatever you can do in that time.
okay, that's fine.
Sounds like
you can
a
do a little
good
bit
idea.
more. Okay, yeah, roll a d6.
Can someone roll for me? I'm currently not at the computer.
That's a 2.
2. Okay. And you were researching to see if there was any connection between Saturn and the what anybody saw on Saturn. What they're not sure, but on Saturn, some of the people that were watching, one of the researchers said that they saw what looked to be some pretty large, not huge, but pretty large creatures that were kind of cone shaped, with 4 kind of tentacles coming out of the top of their cone, and they seem to be moving around in groups.
Did these creatures have like tails with horns on them?
No, they were like, oh no, well it wasn't a tail; it was a tentacle. No, I mean they couldn't tell. You're talking about the things you guys encountered. There wasn't its tail.
Yeah.
It was like it was one of the tentacles on top. They couldn't get that much detail, so they're not sure what was the tentacles had on them. But there was kind of 4 tentacles and a cone-shaped body.
Okay.
But they didn't get. It was cloudy, so they didn't get that much. But they don't know if that's connected or not to what to the lightning storms and stuff at Crystal Point.
Okay. Sounds good.
Brookehill is going to speak to Calesta and ask her real quick. Calesta, in your books and scrolls and such, do you have any type of spells that you can study that would help bind someone, as much as maybe secure them or put them in chains or something? Do you have anything that would do that? Because when we find this pirate woman, we're going to try to bind her and bring her back alive for the reward.
Yes, I do have such a spell at my arsenal. I'll make sure to prepare it when we go.
Yes, because evidently, from what we've been told, she is definitely a fighter, and she will probably put up much resistance.
Well, you stay on the front line, and I'll back you guys up.
Okay. So you're in Zymbala for 3 days, right? 3. So it's now the 5th. It's going to take 16 days. Oh, perfect. Huh. I marked on my calendar when I thought you'd get there, and I've literally got the exact day. All right. So on the 22nd day of the 2nd month, after sailing across, the sea. Remember that your boat, I mean, you've sailed across big open sea because that's the only way to get away from the Lemurian Remnant. But it's not usually safe with these smaller boats. So you usually stay pretty close to shore. So you kind of go up the coast, like this. So it takes you 16 days to get there. But on the 16th day, you sail towards. I should. Did I move you on this? I did, right? Yep. You sail towards the Lemurian Remnant and Krenfok. Off to one side, or to one side of Krenfok, to the. I guess that's the west. There's a volcanic island, but the island itself. Let's go to this module. All right. Okay. There is a description here, so if I find it. Okay, so I should pull. Oh, actually, I have a map. I don't have to describe it. I can. Well, I mean, I will still describe it, but I have a map.
One quick question,
Yep.
actually. Zonar's brother is an elder at Krenfok, right?
His half brother. That's correct.
Does he know about this pirate? Because Aramis told me she's connected to the elders.
Yeah. Did you tell him about all that? I mean, I assumed you kept that to your party and not to him because he's not really part of the party. Do you ask him about it?
No, not yet. I guess I'll
Okay.
wait.
All right. So essentially, when you refer to the map from a distance, Krenfok resembles a cluster of earthen mounds nestled betwixt a rocky shoreline and a forest of spruces, which is where they get the syrup from. 2 cogs and several almanacs, which are like small boats, I guess, rock gently against the waves near the end of the long stone pier. Whale jawbones protrude upward from the pier's sides, forming rib cages around its walkway. Ragged patchwork of seal hides cover the ribs, flapping in the cold wind. Okay, so essentially, as you come up, you're approaching this area here. You've got 2 cogs, which are basically like your boat is also that size. So they're roughly the size of your boat. You've got this like, pier, and then it's got these large whale bones kind of coming up, almost making like a rib cage with what it looks like seal hide stretched across to make it almost like a little pathway, so you don't get blown off with the wind. You see, there's some smaller boats here. You can see actually too from your boat, as you're kind of approaching, that these 2 things right here, K3, they are actually big like whalebones stuck in the ground. Oh, they do whaling here too, so they whatever products, that's another thing they export. They're like stuck in the ground, and from them you see cages hanging. This area over here is the main. Actually, Zonar could probably tell you, points at it. This is like the main kind of village, and from where you are, they look like a bunch. From the distance, he tells you what they are, but they're basically big humps. And they are mostly dirt, from what you can tell, but you can see still remnants of frost and snow because it snowed here the last. It's actually snowing right now. It's snowing today. So they look almost like igloos, essentially. There is a palisade and like a moat, for lack of a better word, around it. And then over here, you can see another encampment with tents in one solid structure, K5. So you could either. Well, actually, the way it's set up right now, you won't have enough space here to park your boat. You're going to have to like anchor it and take a small boat in if you want to do that.
Does he say what the like the K4 and K5 area, what those are?
Yeah, sure. If you ask him, because you have him with you, so you can basically get a full-on description. So I'll run down what they are. K1 and K2 are boats, I guess, right? That's pretty obvious. K3 are men in cages, as I described. You can see that. K4 is the traveler's campsite. So he tells you that generally, like you're not allowed to stay in the village if you're a traveler. If you're trading or whatever, that's where they tell you to camp. So travelers come camp there. K5 is basically a tavern. It's the Bloody Bucket, which is essentially a tavern that both the villagers and outsiders drink at. The village itself proper doesn't have a tavern in it. Basically, that's the tavern. And yeah. I mean, you could do any number of things. I mean, these are basically, you could, the elevation here is 0 on the side. So you could bring a small rowboat up to the shore anywhere, in any of these areas. Or you could go to the end of the dock with it if you want. But your boat's going to have to be anchored for now. Oh, also, he would know that K1 is a boat called the Dreadclaw, because that's a boat that comes here a lot.
Hey, Daniel, can you check chat when you get a chance?
Chat. I mean, it's kind of late. I want to say, yeah. Why not? Yeah, tell him we can join. Just send him the. Since you're literally just showing up on the boat. He's been drunk the whole time.
Would he know that like that K1 boat? I mean, it's like it's another merchant trader's boat and all that.
Yeah, he knows K1. It's actually called the Dreadclaw, and he says that it is a pirate ship.
Oh.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
His brother's fellow council member's sister is the pilot of it. One Tartok.
Huh.
She is the sister to Kesselk. Yeah. So yeah.
He doesn't know anything about the other ship though, the K2 ship.
The other ship, he would not know what it is. Although you do see that it is, like all ships, it has like a name written on the side, and you see that it's written on it as Snow Serpent. So that ship's called the Snow Serpent, but you don't know he doesn't know anything about it. It's probably a trader. He says a lot of people come and trade. It's not uncommon.
Okay.
Yeah, Brickyle's going to ask him, well, you're very familiar with this pirate ship. What do you know about it? Why would it be here in the village? I mean, she's going to play dumb, of course.
Yeah. Well, I mean, either to visit her sister or possibly to drop off tribute to the crabmen, because all crabkin are supposed to give tribute to the crabmen. They usually bring it to the council, who holds on to it, and then they give it to the crabmen. So it could be that she's there to see the sister, or possibly she's there selling slaves, because, or at least finding out where the slaves need to go. It could be a lot of reasons, but she hangs out there a bunch. Her sister lives there. She gets along better with her sister than I get along with my half brother.
Okay.
Yeah, so if all that made sense. So it's basically the Tartok is the sister to Kesak, or Kusak, I guess it's pronounced. Kusuk, who is one of the elders. And Zonar is half-brothers to the other elder, whose name is Tonrar. And there's 3 elders. I guess you probably would have found that out. All right, hold on. We're going to have Yang come in here for a second. Okay. As soon as Yang appears here. So, yeah, if that all makes sense. Do you want me to write that in the roll 20? Or you got it?
I mean, we got it.
Yeah,
but...
okay. Yeah, and there's one other elder who I suppose he could have told you the name of. If you care to know the name. You'll find out, I guess, if you go see the elders. But I'll tell you just so you know. Let me find the elders camp so we can give you all the information, because, I like to give you all the information. Elders. Okay. Kesak. Oh, that's weird. This must be a typo, because it says Kesak is male, which could be the case, because it says people But it says Tonar is, well, I guess you could be a half brother to, wouldn't they call it a half sister? I don't know. Anyways, there's Kesak, there's Tonar, and Ulva. Ulva is not related to anybody that you're directly involved with at this moment. It's a small village. So yeah, and you haven't told him anything about this whole thing with Tarkok, so he has no idea. I mean, the thing is that it's not like, I mean, most people believe that slavers are kind of scumbags, but it's not like it's uncommon for pirates to take slaves. And also the as you've found out, of course, already, that the crabmen use slave labor to work the mines.
Right. Just this time she happened to take important people.
Yeah. Well, and also sailors that are probably likely going to go to the mines. But, you know, that's none of your concern, because they're just regular people.
It's not
I
necessarily
mean,
the
unless you want to make
case.
it your concern. But, right.
Ricky is going to talk to Podesta, just alone, and well, I guess we first need to verify that these children are here, and if they are, then we will have to formulate a plan, because this will not go well in a straight on fight.
Oh, no, I agree. And they said they take them to the council, or the tribute is held by the council, and then they give it to the crabmen. So maybe that's where we
Right.
start. Yeah,
Yeah, the tribute of copper. Not the people.
not the people.
Although the people, if you, yeah, I guess you would have told you, if they're being sold to the crabmen, then yeah, they would, or given to the crabmen, I suppose, they would obviously tell the council how many they have so that they can arrange it, because only the council really talks to the crabmen.
Okay.
There might even be crabmen here. I have to roll. There's a chance there are crabmen wandering around. Let me see. Let's see if you see any crabmen walking around. Oh, no. You don't see any crabmen walking around. You just see regular people. Well, of course, these crabkin paint their skins red, and they wear a lot of like seashells and stuff all over them, and other things to be more crabby.
All right.
Maybe it would be best that some of us go to this tent encampment down there. It looks like there's some type of tavern or something. Maybe some of us could go there and have a drink and listen in there, if you want to go forth to the village and observe from there.
Yes, that's all right. Definitely, we need to listen as many places as we can.
I
Okay,
guess
you're
I
right.
could take Bale with me, and maybe with someone else, and we could go to this encampment.
Do we all need to go? Because I may have a way to stay on the ship and still gather some information.
Well, yes, if you think it's best that you stay hidden yourself for now, that would be fine.
She's not a woman of arms. It may not be the safest place.
Yes, exactly. Yes, I shall remain on the ship, but I will try to gather some information for you all. If I have anything, I'll try to get Rascal to deliver it.
All right,
Nesta,
that sounds good.
why don't you take Amuda, and it seems like our heavily armored warrior has finally woken up from his drunken slumber. Maybe he can go with you if he's well enough.
Oh, what did I miss? Oh, oh,
Hello, Basil.
oh.
Well, since it's kind of my trading business, I guess maybe I should go talk to the council or whoever's in charge of trade. I'm sure Zonar can help with that. But I think Muda should come to the tavern with you. I don't know if he should meet the council. I love you, Muda, but just don't know if that's a good idea.
What if I promise not to say anything? I'll just be myself.
I think that's the problem, though.
Okay.
All right, you can come. You'll probably be helpful, actually, if we get into a scrap. So
No, I understand. You don't trust me. That's fine.
Always assuming the worst you are.
I'm not assuming the worst. She doesn't want me there. I mean, she said that. That's fine. I understand. She doesn't trust me.
well, it's not that I don't trust you, Muda. It's just that you tend to speak your mind, which is a wonderful quality. I love honesty, and you are nothing if not very honest. But I think that Rel needs to teach you a little bit of tact.
So I should lie.
Or sometimes it's better just to not say anything.
Okay.
Yes, that's the option. Keep your mouth shut.
I
Trust
will do
Brighill
that.
to say it like that.
I lean over to Muda and I say, you gotta love a woman who's pushy.
Yeah.
That's why you guys need Breakout.
I've come to like her.
She makes no bones about anything, does she?
No, she's as honest as I am, but more blunt.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, come.
Okay, so you guys are going to jump on one of your small, like the rowboats, the launch or whatever you want to call it, to move in. The sailors. I don't want to say beach, but that's not the right. Anchored the boat out a bit, a few hundred yards out or whatever. Do you want to come to the dock, or do you want to go right on up on the beach?
Well, I would
say
go.
the dock, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say.
So between the two boats, basically, you go to the end of the dock and just tie it up there and jump up. Perfect. That makes sense. Yeah. That probably is the smarter
That
thing
way
to
we
do.
can get a good look at the boats too, at the
That's
ships.
Excellent. Yes. So you guys come to the dock and dock it up, and you see that there are indeed two ships there. K1 is absolutely packed with people. There's 20 people on the deck at least. They seem to be throwing dice and drinking heavily. When you kind of pull up, they say to you, they're like, that's not much of a boat. How'd you get across the sea in that little thing? And then they all start laughing, and then they say basically just bad jokes and yell stuff at you.
It's not the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean.
Sure. Why is that only said by men in small boats? So you get the you get up there. The other boat though has a much smaller group of people on it, and they are pretty much they kind of eyeball you and look at you like kind of checking you out, but they don't say anything. They are they Ixian? They are all no, they're not Ixian. They're like a mix, like commons and stuff. The men on the ship that you know is a pirate ship. They're also everybody's there. Everybody's basically a mix. They're all just like common, mercenaries. So they're a mix of different people. You don't see, as far as you can tell, Tartok. Because you don't see, anybody who seems like captain-y. You just see a bunch of people throwing dice and stuff. Nor do you see anybody who seems to be in charge on the other boat either, as you walk through. So it looks like the pirate ship has a lot of people on it. Like there's a lot of pirates. They don't look particularly organized or well armed. They've all got just like nobody's wearing armor. They have basically scimitars, or they've got like I said, leather armor. So they're just wearing very basic stuff. Once you walk past though, you see those two cages there. So there's on either side there's a cage hanging. Here's a picture. I like to get the pictures if we can. Let's see this. Do this without giving too much away. No, I guess I can't. Okay. All right, I just love the art in these things, so I'll just show them. Can I share that? Oh, it won't let me share it. Okay. For all that, it better be worth it, right? All right. Okay, so there's this dude. You know, he's pointing, I guess. He's hanging in this cage here. He starts to yell towards you as you come closer. He says, hey there, you have to help me. I'm being persecuted. I didn't do anything. This place is dangerous. Be careful. Just cut me down. Let's get out of here.
Brickhill just ignores him and keeps walking.
Okay. Does anybody engage with him? He continues to call to you as you walk past, but if nobody engages with him, then he eventually gives up.
Is
I would probably
Basil there too, or?
Yeah, everybody's there.
Yeah, he looks at Brighild and everyone walking past by him, and he looks at him. Well, I think the man needs help, right?
Yeah, this is not the time.
That man
Yeah.
is of no concern to us.
You have to help me. Look. He points at the other cage that's on the other side, and you can see there's a body in there that looks like it's like completely like burnt, charred. He said they burned my brother to death. Just because I won in gambling and they didn't want to pay us.
What the heck exactly happened? I mean, did you kill somebody?
No, we were gambling and I won, and then next thing we know, they threw us in these cages and they burnt my brother. Please just spare some water. I'm innocent, I swear.
I want to help him too, but you anger an entire village and it will be the end of us and the end of him too. Trying to help him at this moment will be nothing more than a death sentence for both him and you.
A little bit of water wouldn't harm anyone, right?
No. At your own peril, my friend.
All right, he looks around and he takes out his water skin, approaches the man and hands it over.
He takes it and drinks greedily. You hear the pirates, the guys on the pirate ship, and they're like, "Oh yeah, free him! Come on, free him! Don't be scared of these people here. You could free him. Look at you. Just cut him down."
He smiles. And
someone like, "Oh, he's not going to do it. He can't do it. He has the guts to do that."
Yeah, he smiles and says, "All right, well, keep that water skin. It's yours for now." And he nods and passes by.
Okay. And he says, as you're about to walk away, he says kind of soft, pretty soft, so hopefully they don't see her. He says, Come back at night and cut me down, please. Please, they're going to burn me to death." And then he drinks water. Okay. So as
Hey,
you're...
Daniel.
Yep, go ahead.
Callista is having Rascal follow them, and she's using her powers to be able to see through, see what he sees and hear what he hears.
All right. Well, that doesn't go very far, right? Only like 120 feet.
Like 120 feet, yeah.
Yeah, he's way out of range. All
Oh,
right.
am I?
Before he leaves, he's going to ask him for his name.
Okay. My name is... Oh, sorry. His name is Peneral Tanos. Peneral. That's a cool name. I like the way he's described. Emaciated, tattooed redhead. Also gonna make tattoo on his back.
Well, good luck to you. He tries to recall the name, and he says, "Yeah, good luck to you, fella." And he walks by.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He drinks the water and he's kind of looking around, and then you hear him saying some, he swears at the pirates who swear back at him, and then they're kind of going back and forth. But the pirates aren't going to bother to go save him either, because pirates are, like that. All right, yeah. So you walk past this guy, and you guys kind of come into this this split here, I guess, where some of you are going to go towards the village. As soon as you kind of enter into that V section where you're heading towards the village, you see that little bridge. There's like a bridge over here. Let's see. You see some men come out of one of these buildings. You can't see because this thing where it says +10, this area, is actually a wall. So this is like a bridge that goes over it. No, I already said it. Yeah, it's a wall. No, that's a pit, and then this is a wall. I'm trying to figure out what's what. Because this is +20, right? And then that's +10, so it went down. But anyways, you see some men, clearly guards of some sort. They come to greet you. Not in like a violent way, but the way that guards come to greet people when you come to a thing. Let's see. There are mounds around the village. In front of the. Okay, hold on. Let me just read this. So around the village, there's a trench 10 foot wide in front of a 10 foot high berm. So it's not a wall per se, it's a berm. Single wooden drawbridge permits ingress during. Okay. There are warriors. A dozen of the warriors and one captain will go. Okay, so basically 13 people. One clearly the captain directing them. You didn't dock the big boat, so it took them a little while to get out here. They're kind of walk up and they meet you at the intersection. The warriors are dressed in studded armor. That's like it's basically like animal skins with copper studs, and they have short spears and bows. And who's clearly the leader has a more of like a scale armor, and is also carrying a spear. And he steps forward to address you, and he says, and I guess this is the whole group because he's kind of connecting to all of you guys as you hit in that V area. And he says, "What business have you in Krenfak? To trade or to worship?"
Well, I have trade goods on our boat.
Excellent. What kind of goods? He takes out he takes out a clipboard. He's got a thing where he can write down. He's got like a writing stick and like some
Ye old clipboard.
Right, ye old clipboard, exactly.
I would tell him, what Aramis told me.
Okay, so like the blanket stuff. Okay. Yep. Perfect. Sounds like we could probably use those kind of supplies. You'll need to, of course, be with the council.
Of course, yes.
And they kind of look at you and they say, "Well, you'll need to leave your weapons, of course, at the guardhouse."
Of course, that's expected.
Yep. And he nods, and he just kind of turns and he walks, hoping for you to follow him, and then the guards will follow behind you.
Okay.
And that is Pinesta and Muda, right? And I guess
Muda's coming with me.
The bird's flying around, but you can't. You're way too far away, though, Crystal.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize that it was going to be that far. I mean, if I'd known that, I probably would have gone. But if it's too late, then
well, no. So what do you want to say? You want to be there? That's fine. I mean, the map shows the scale. I thought probably you saw it, but
yeah, I didn't see where it in the top left hand corner. I didn't.
Yeah, that's fine. And plus, you're out at sea. But either way, you could be there. We'll roll back. So, are you going? You're going with Pinesta, or are you going to the bar?
I think I'll head with Vanessa this time. And I will bring Rascal with me just in case I need him.
Sure, of course. All right, yeah. So you guys are let in. There's like a drawbridge, as noted. They lead you across the drawbridge down to the council chamber, which is... Well, they bring you over to number 6 first, which is the guardhouse, and they ask you to leave your weapons there.
Yep.
And assuming you do that, they will then bring you to 11. And actually, once you do that, like half the guards basically stay there, and only more than half guards, 2 guys plus the commander just walk you over to 11. And then they stop outside, of course, and then the commander says, let me announce you. And then he kind of like squats down and goes into the thing. Comes back out a minute later and he says, okay, the council will see you. Good trading to you.
Before we go in, Callista's gonna send Rascal off and just tell him to like basically go play, and like have him, wait for her.
Okay. All right. So you guys kind of, you guys squat down a little bit to get in the door, but you come in. And basically this space is... Okay, so let's see. 3 withered and wrinkled people, 1 male, 2 females, sit cross-legged behind a smokeless fire facing the entrance. 9 tapestries hang from the walls, each depicting crabmen slaying their enemies. In front of these images, 9 appear to be long dead people kneel motionless, heads bowed, holding candles in their hands. And as you come in, the one in the center looks up and says, welcome. We hear that you have brought trade.
Yes, it's true. We bring blankets and other goods to trade
Excellent.
from Zymbala.
Ah, that is excellent. We are always looking for new trade partners. Are you looking to sell them directly, or would you want syrups and whale fat in trade?
I think we want to sell directly.
Okay. All right. So she says, okay, then we will arrange for you to meet with... his name. She says the name of the guy. The name of the guy that has the shop that sells those things. Hanapan.
Hanapan?
Yep, Hanapan. Hanipan. Hanapan.
Okay.
Yeah, he sells that kind of stuff, so he would be the ones who would buy it from you. And then they say, we look forward to a long and fruitful relationship.
Yes, as do we. And these are my associates. They part of my trading company. You trade with many different people, yes?
Yes, our whale fat and seal furs are some of our major trades, but also the syrup is becoming more popular.
And what kind of syrup was it again?
It's a spruce. It's from the spruce trees.
Syrup?
Yeah. It's like maple syrup, but better.
Well, I'm glad that that we were able to make a deal here. We were asked at the entrance about trade or worship. What form of worship do you practice here? I don't want to speak out of turn as a newcomer to your settlement.
We are the Crabkin people. We show worship to the Crabmen.
Oh, so you worship the crabmen directly?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, if you by giving tribute, or you could see the shaman, Sakani, if you would like to meditate in front of the shrine.
Sakani. All right. And are you responsible for, shall we say, the people that work in the mines? Do you see them come through here? The slaves?
Yeah. I mean, do you have slaves to do trade?
No, but in the future, if I do, that would be your
Yes.
responsibility, or does somebody else take the people to the mines?
Well, as you are new, typically you would bring them here. Well, you would always bring them here no matter what, and we would have them assigned. But because you are new, you would probably leave them here with us. Yes. Once we have established a steady trade, then we typically like the merchants to bring the merchandise directly to the mines.
I see.
After coming here first, of course.
Of course. Directly to the mines. Got it.
Right.
Well, you have been very helpful, and I look forward to our relationship.
As do I.
Okay.
It's just kind of like, she actually like closes her eyes.
Okay, yeah. I think I've got some stuff to start with here, so yeah, we'll leave.
Okay. Yeah. When you go back out, the commander guys left, but the two regular guards are there, and they say, "Okay, so you are establishing trade. You should bring your goods to the shore.
Okay.
We will. The ship called Snowpiercer. Is that what I said that was called? Is leaving Snow Serpent. The ship called Snow Serpent should be leaving any day now, and when he does, you'll be able to bring your ship in. Or if he lingers, we can have him pull it out. But let's give him a day.
That sounds reasonable. Thank you.
Yeah, you can set up a camp if you'd like at the traders' camp. It kind of points in that direction, where your other friends have already gone, of course.
Right.
And I'm assuming you're walking back towards the guardhouse at this point, and then your stuff's sitting there, so you can put it on, take it if you like.
Okay.
Nobody
And
messes
then
with that, basically.
Yeah. Once we're kind of out of it, can we just go to the traders' camp, or do they follow us?
No. As soon as you walk across the drawbridge, they pull it back and they leave you there.
I look at Muda and Callista, and I smile at Muda and say, I underestimated you, my friend. I'm sorry.
I can
You
quiet
did well.
when I want to.
You have
And I'll
to
say,
challenge him to a quiet contest.
Oh, Vanessa can't keep her mouth shut. I would lose. I'd say if these Hyperboreans, and I'm like talking very low, were brought here, they obviously have a relationship with Tartok, so they might have gone directly to the mines, or
What Hyperboreans?
the children we told you about that. The children that were taken, that were abducted.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Those Hyperboreans. Well, let's go see what our friends have to say. We have some names. We have a few leads here.
Right. So while that was going on, Brighild and company walked over to the trader village.
That was more TBI Mike than Muda.
Yeah. So you could see a series of tents and stuff set up here. You notice as soon as you kind of start to walk forward that there's these three men. They're speaking kind of an odd language. And they're dressed as soldiers. They look injured. One of them has like a bandage wrapped around his head, and you could see like a stain where there's blood clearly. And you see another one where it looks like both of his ears are missing, and it's like it's still like dry blood on the side of his face. The third one seems to be totally fine, and they're sitting around. They seem to be they're arguing, but not in like a way that they're going to fight with each other. More like they're like if you have a group of people trying to figure something out, they're kind of like they're like but they're speaking kind of an odd language, and they're just sitting there, kind of on stones right by the tents.
None of us would recognize the language so far.
I don't. It's Latin. I don't think anybody speaks
no.
Latin. Yeah. So if anybody is, I don't even know what that would be. I don't think so. I doubt it. Like something that would be close. Yeah, doesn't seem to be. You don't seem to understand it. What they're speaking right now, anyways.
The way they're dressed, like their clothing and stuff, does it look like something we've never seen before? Like they're from maybe some foreign.
Yeah, it's very different looking. It's definitely they're dressed as soldiers because they're dressed the same, and they've got like a. It's basically like metal strips, like basically banded armor in a sense. And then inside you can see like leather straps, and they've got shields with kind of strange iconography on it that you've not seen before. And they have short swords on their sides, kind of strange short swords that are kind of like there's no like cross hilt on them; they're just kind of flat. And they've got javelins kind of stacked up next to them. So they look like they were like going to war, but they somehow are here and talking. They very, very much look out of place.
Yeah, Brickhill, she'll just keep walking, take note of them and keep walking unless Bale or Basil wanted to stop. But she'll just keep walking.
Basil walks up to Brighild and says, "You've seen those type of people before?"
No, nothing I've ever seen before. They're dressed in the type of armor and their insignias are different than anything I've ever seen or heard of before. And they're speaking something I do not understand either.
Yeah, I can't make any sense of what they're saying. Take a look at that one guy. He's missing his ears.
Yes, that is a good lesson for you, Basil, to know that heavy armor doesn't always save you.
Well, he's not wearing a helmet like I do.
Right in the
I've traveled far and wide across Hyperborea, and I too have never seen such men or such clothing. It's interesting indeed. They don't seem to be a nefarious folk, but I don't know. None of this. This whole thing makes me wary.
Maybe they were on board that ship, the snow ship we saw docked.
Well, I would wager to bet they were aboard one of them for sure. They are not from this place, if I had to gather.
Well, if I could take a guess, it seems like they've seen battle. I want to find out what they've been up to, what sort of creatures they've been battling.
Go and speak to him, Basil. We will wait.
All right. Yeah, he approaches them, holds up his hand, and says, "Hail."
Mm-hmm. They look at you and they kind of size you up, and they see that you're clearly also kind of a soldier. It's pretty obvious in the way that you hold yourself, and they raise a hand. And one of them, the one that's not beat up, you can see that he's kind of a little bit hesitant, like as if like it's not his first language, but he does in fact speak to you in the common tongue. And he says, "Hail, have you arrived in this island recently? I have not seen you."
Yeah, I came aboard on this island not too long ago. It seems like you folks been seeing some battle recently.
Yes, we were separated. Have you heard the location of the Ninth Legion?
I'm afraid not.
Yes, we hit the ocean began to spin and swirl, and we went underwater and woke up holding onto bits and pieces of our ship. The rest of the soldiers on our ship were gone, but I was hoping other ships may have survived from the Legion. We must get over, and those filthy Celts must be destroyed.
Bale raises an eyebrow.
He holds up his hand and says, well, some of us are Celts. I'm not, but my friend over here is.
He looks at you. No, you can't be a Celt.
Well, we don't mean you any harm, fellas, but we would like to know where you were sailing when this happened to you.
We were sailing to war. We must expand the empire.
And what happened to your ears?
He gets mad. He spits on the ground. Then one of the other guys says, "The guy with the snappy says, oh, no. It seems a Celt bit them off."
I see. So
They are man eaters.
you were on your way back after battling the Celts?
Well, after a battle, yes. We were moving forward. We had won that battle, and we're moving up the shore.
Yeah, he raises his eyebrows and takes a look at Bale.
Are you sure you don't mean Picts?
Maybe it was the Picts.
Yeah, sounds
all
like
the
the
same.
Picts.
Picts, Celts.
Not so much.
I don't know.
Picts eat people. Celts, they eat seafood and steaks, and vegetables. Crazy things.
Well, fellas, before we go, I'd like to ask you, how long did you have to swim to get down here?
Not that far. It felt like a long time, but it couldn't have been because we didn't die of thirst. And we washed up here 2 days ago. And we're looking for a way off, to be honest. What's a soldier without a mission?
True enough. Well, he looks at him and says, well, if we need any extra sword arm, maybe we could turn to you later. Perhaps if Panesta, our captain, allows you to, come aboard, we may be able to give you a lift back to where you need to go, for a price, of course.
Well, I'm sure that the Empire would certainly pay whatever the price. Panesta, that's a strange name. What kind of man is he?
Well,
It's a she.
yes. And quite a she is.
Your captain is a woman?
Yes. She is a teller of tales and keeper of lore. She has slain a god, you know.
And singer of
Goddess.
song. And singer of song.
Yes.
You are Celts. They speak to each other in Latin for a second.
Yeah, he says, "Well, good luck to you, fellas," and he walks away.
He's gonna raise his head. Okay, yes, you head towards the tavern, in which there's a handful of people. So, as you walk towards this kind of igloo tavern setup here, you see standing like right in the doorway. There's like a copper bucket, and in it you see a few fingers. Yeah, they look fairly fresh. Yeah, inside the building itself, there's like a little like a copper lamp hanging, so it gives some light in there. And immediately as you walk in, a kind of a wide-shouldered guy looks at you and he calls out, "Ah, we have some new men here. Let's see if you can actually drink." And you kind of look at this guy and he's missing an eye. It's like dug out, and as he raises his hand, you see that he's not holding a mug, but rather he's missing a hand, and there's somehow a mug affixed to where it was.
Jesus, this man's built for this.
Well, don't look at me. I'm not gonna go into a drinking contest with that beast.
Come, come, come. There's plenty to drink here. Bring your silvers. Bring your gold. Bring... Yeah, just silver and gold. That's all we want. Bring it. Come.
Is it crowded or is there a bunch of patrons?
There are... Let's see. I got to roll to see who's here. Okay, there is a woman who is stout. She's a stout Amazon with jet black hair, tied behind a scarred visage. So she's there. There's a woman. There is a very, very drunk man who is laying on the ground with a mug on his chest. And there is another man who is sitting at a table. He's Ixian, and he's got two kind of well-armed men sitting on either side of him. So he's basically there. He's just dressed in clothes, and then he's got these two well-armed guys like sitting on either side of him. So that's, what, 5 people? And is this guy in
And
here
we
as
don't
well?
see the pirate woman at all. Do we?
Let me see. There's another Ixian man who is tattooed heavily. And let's see if she's here. I'll tell you if the pirate's here in a second. Yeah, and you see one other woman. She is tall and beautiful with close-cropped black hair. And she is sitting with a man, and they are drinking. So there's a bunch of people in here. It's pretty crowded, actually.
Would I recognize her from what we were told about her? That's the pirate captain.
Yeah, I guess you were told about her. Yeah, you could imagine this could be her. I mean, she's a beautiful Eskimo woman, and this is the only beautiful Eskimo woman here.
Is the man with her? Does he appear to? I mean, is he like well dressed, kind of like a merchant, or is he more like a bodyguard dressed?
No, he looks more like he's actually got a scimitar on a kind of on his side, and he's in leather armor. He's definitely not a merchant. She is also, by the way, in leather armor, and also has a scimitar.
Daniel, did you say there was an Amazon woman?
There is an Amazon woman here. Yep.
Nice.
She is stout Amazon with jet black hair tied behind her scarred visage. She has a big old scar across her face. So yeah, it's pretty crowded in here right now. Oh, and she's actually, I don't know if she'll be wearing it, but we'll say that she's got, because it says she has plate armor. I doubt she'll be wearing plate armor. She's in the bar. But sitting next to her, though, because why would she leave that otherwise, is a big old hammer. So you might have to challenge Rush for this one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she's got a big hammer, just like yours.
Oh.
She's a stout
This is
woman with a
that.
big hammer.
Oh. Like, does it look like a warrior's hammer type?
Oh, yeah. It is a
Oh,
great
really?
hammer.
Well,
That's what you have, right? A great hammer? That's what she's got. Same thing.
I like my women like I like my beer. short, stout, and bitter. So yeah, I'm gonna walk over there and get two ales and put one down in front of her, and I'll just say, impressive weapon.
All right, yeah. So
With
you go to
mine
get a drink.
struck
They
across
only
the
have
blade.
one drink here. It is
Okay.
called Bird Song. It is incredibly potent. And when the guy pours it for you, he says, "You realize I could drink you under the table."
Yes. I'm maybe later.
Oh.
And I look back at the woman with the giant hammer.
Am I to be impressed that you bought two? Oh, then he realizes because you bought two, so he was like thinking, I see. Okay,
Yes.
come back to fail at the drinking after you fail at the lovemaking. He says really loud.
Yeah.
And I attempt to strike up I attempt to strike up pleasant warrior banter with this woman.
Let's see. Okay,
You see Basil. You see Basil like cross his arm and he's smiling. He's like, "Yeah, good luck." Him being an Amazon, he looks at, like,
oh boy.
Bill, and he shakes his head.
Yeah, how tall are you, Bill?
This is the top. This is the Amazonian.
Yeah, she's not that tall. Actually, she's only 5'6".
Oh.
She's stout.
Yeah,
But she's not super tall. That would have been funny, actually.
That's
all
a
right.
good
So
question,
let's see. She wears her hair in a ponytail interwoven with small bones. She bears a nasty scar stretching from her left ear to her mouth. And she curses relentlessly. Well, I'm not going to do that because it's a family show, but so she when you come over with the drink, she says, and she sees your hammer, and then she just kind of looks at you and she kind of squints really hard, and then she says, "You can sit, just don't talk very much." And then she takes a drink.
I won't talk very much, but I must say I was incredibly impressed with the weapon you have there.
Yes, well, it serves its purpose, if you know what I mean, and it seems like you do.
I do indeed. My hammer, Tyrannus, has seen much blood in its day. And yours looks equally fearful for sure. Yeah, he's 6 feet tall, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, how tall are you?
6 feet even.
Oh, all right. Yes, you're tall. That's good. She's not a giant Amazon.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not gonna try and be all creepy with her. I just, I introduced myself as Bale and formerly a mercenary with the Blood Fist Company, and although I've left that life, and I saw someone who it's rare that you see someone who favors the weapon that we do, and so when I saw it, and if you'll forgive my saying, it's even more rare to see a woman favor this weapon. So I admit I was intrigued and was curious as to where you learned how to use a great hammer and whatnot.
Well, this is the chosen weapon of Auroras, and I learned at the nunnery.
Amazonian?
Mm-hmm.
I take it?
Yes.
Proud warrior people.
So they say.
Very good. Yeah, well, I hear that it is said because my understanding is it is earned. I have fought many battles against many types of people. I've seen the Amazonians strike fear in the hearts of men. So it is an honor to share a drink with one such as yourself. And as at your request, I will try not to speak too much more.
Well, since you spoke so much, I've already finished my drink. Why don't you get me another one?
I can do that very thing.
While that's going on, Brickhill
Yep.
is going to a table by
Yeah.
herself, and
Okay.
she's gonna yell at that barkeep with the arm. The stein is the arm, and to bring her 2 drinks, and she's just gonna kick her feet up on the table loudly and sit back where she can eye the pirate captain.
Okay.
Ooh. Wow.
So when he brings over the drinks, he says, "You look like someone who could drink. Perhaps a contest."
Well, let me taste this swill first and see if it's worth my taste buds.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrible, but incredibly strong.
Yeah, she grimaces and slowly drinks it. Oh, well, I don't know. Let me continue drinking this for a bit and I will let you know.
Let me know. Just call my name if you need me. I am Yakan, the Fierce. And then he drinks down the thing.
Yep, she's just going to sit there and just kind of, out of the corner of her eye, every once in a while, look at the pirate captain and see what they're doing.
Okay.
Basil
They
joins
Oh,
Brighild
sorry.
at the table and he face palms. It's like, that Bale over there. I think he's trying to get somewhere with that Amazonian. And he chuckles. And he looks to Brighild and asks, "It seems like you're staring over there. What are you looking at?"
Well, this woman that is sitting over there in the corner is someone that we may need to speak to. We'll wait till Panesta gets here and the rest of them and see what happens. But she is someone of interest to us. You were passed out from your drinking and I was not aware of that.
Yep. I see.
Yeah, so she's there for a little bit. Then after she's had a few drinks, she actually calls out to to the I just say his name. Behold there.
The Fierce.
The Fierce. She calls out to the Fierce and she says, "I challenge my man here." And she pushes the guy and he almost falls out of his chair. How did I lose the page? I lose the page as soon as I do.
It was Hakon the Fierce too.
No, that's not what I'm looking for the challenge. There's a challenge here that she can do, which she's going to do. Nope, that's not it. I challenge him to 5-finger fillet. So,
Is this the
And
dagger
so-
between the fingers thing?
yep. So,
Yes.
so he comes over. Yakan comes over, and she says, 10 silver coins, and she smacks it down on the thing. And he looks, and he says, I take your bet, and he slams it down. And then, so now this guy's got to do this thing between his fingers, and if he does it, then he get the money, of course. If not, let's see. Let's check this guy's dex. It's a dexterity check.
Shall we go see if this man loses a hand or at least a finger?
Let's see.
I put down some coin.
Dex is 11. So, yeah, you guys are probably walking in just as all this is going on. Okay. Rush, you roll it. Oh, he walked away. It's okay.
No, I'm here. I'm
Okay,
here.
just roll a d6 to see if this guy gets his finger chopped off.
And boom. Oh, I typed it. What happened?
Oh, nothing happened.
Roll D6. There it is. 2.
Oh, he did it.
He pulls it off.
He pulls it off. Yeah, Khan swears a bit and pushes the coins over and nobody loses fingers anymore. And he goes back to what he was doing. And right about that time, everybody else kinda walks in.
Brickill's going to yell out, well, since he did so well, the man should deserve a free drink of this wonderful stuff that you're serving.
He just got my 20 silver pieces.
No, give the man a drink. He deserves it.
How about this? If he can chug 2 drinks and then do it again, I will double his money. And the guy kind of like looks like, but he's not asking the guy, he's asking you, Brighild. Like somehow you're in charge of this.
Sure, let the man do it. I have faith in him.
Kind of looks around, and then Kung comes back and puts down 2 mugs in front of him. And he kind of shakes his head and he drinks them down. He picks up the knife, and all right, Rush. Now you have to make an extraordinary feat of dexterity.
Okay.
This guy's not very dexterous. He's got, well, I guess he's got
Oh,
a
do it. Just
12.
Just roll a
a
D.
percentile. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He's basically a thief, so he'll get a... No, actually, I don't think he's a fighter. So he has a 4% chance. Oh my god!
Wow.
He did it! Wow, all right. Oh man.
He said he had a 4% chance.
Yes, you rolled a 4. That's it.
I rolled a 4.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, this guy's so drunk that he finishes it, he does it, and then after he's looking, he's like, Did I do it? And
I raised
chairs and
Yeah, I was gonna say I raised my mug, and I'll just give this bellow this cheer because I'm like, I know that no one thought he was gonna do it, including myself, and I'm just like, hey, like that.
yeah. That guy like swears and then downs another mug himself. And yeah, and the others come into this like cheering of this situation.
Good show. Good show.
So, unless you want to interact with the strange speaking men outside, Podesta, Muda, or Callista, we'll assume that you're going to walk into the bar.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm on my best behavior.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're just hanging out there. They're not causing any trouble. They just don't. They can't remember if they're supposed to be killing the Picts or the Celts or what they're doing. They're a little confused. Probably both of them eventually.
When Brighild sees Panesta and them come in, she just, nods at Panesta and to look in the corner to see the pirate lady.
Oh yeah, I would look where she indicates.
Yep, you see her there. She's drinking with the guy who is now like cheering and like he has all the silver in front of him and he's like very excited that he somehow pulled that off and now there's a whole bunch of silver.
Okay. I'll go over to Brighild. And I'll just, quietly say, I think that's Our Lady.
Yes, I do believe it is. And her bodyguard is very well. He can handle his drink very well. He is very nimble and agile. He's been playing this game. I was hoping he would get drunk enough he would either pass out or he would sever one of his fingers and have to leave. But it would seem he is probably maybe her top man. Anything or about the children of the slaves?
Not the children, but we've discovered that the slaves, once you have an established relationship with the council, usually they go directly to the mines. The slaves do. But sometimes the council has the people assigned. So I'm assuming if she realized what she had, she probably didn't take them to the mines, but maybe not.
Do you think she's already turned over her shipload of people to the council yet, or do you think they're still below deck on her ship?
Couldn't say. She's well known here, so she wouldn't probably have had to have gone directly to the council. So it's possible they're still on the ship.
Yes, that is what I'm thinking. Maybe she come here first to relax some, but as I say, the man with her seems to be probably her best man.
Well, And you said he can hold his drink, so
Oh, yes. I was trying to encourage him to continue this contest and was hoping those drinks would, well, cause him some harm, but it did not.
okay. Well, what do you think? Should we simply try to talk or to her and see if we can weasel
Well,
anything out?
I have one of two plans and see what you all think. My first plan would be that maybe we could approach her in the guise of us ourselves going into the business of piracy, and we understand who she is and would like maybe some pointers and maybe to work under her. Or we can try to go under the guise of trying to lure her back to our ship alone. I don't know if I would be able to do that or not. And I'm not sure maybe if Callista would have anything that could help with that.
Yeah, that's possible. It's possible. I don't know if she'd believe us if we went up and said we wanted to be apprentice pirates.
Well, she is a very attractive woman, so it would not be probably under her to hear one of us be infatuated with her and would want to spend time with her alone.
Exactly. Maybe we should send one of our best men up there. Although maybe she likes, I'm assuming she likes men, but maybe she likes women.
Do we have a best man?
Well, that's a loaded question.
I mean, look
Who
over.
volunteers
Would
as
you look over
tribute?
at Bale? Bale, look what Bale is doing at this point. He is matching a woman drink for drink. It has a large hammer.
True. And if she doesn't appear interested in him, then one of us can try.
Yes, I think maybe either you, me, or Callista would be the best choice.
Okay. The best choice to go talk to her, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. I think Callista is very knowledgeable, but I'm not sure this is her thing. I think it should be you or I. You or me.
Well, maybe we just both go then. I mean, she might like both of us.
I like the way you think, Brighild. Let's go over there. We'd like to approach the pirate captain lady.
Okay. Yeah, she's sitting there at the table, drinking her drink. Her friend, of course, who has made a ton of silver now, is very excited about it. And she seems, less interested. Like she's kind of like, a few hundred silver doesn't seem to really, make her super excited. So she's kind of, she's happy for him, but she doesn't seem like overly excited that he won that money. She's kind of drinking her drink, and as you start to walk over, she kind of just looks up. She's the type of person that's aware of her surroundings. So as soon as you start approaching her, she definitely sees you. I mean, not that you're trying to hide. And she just kind of like, raises an eyebrow.
Brickyard looks towards her and goes, I wanted to congratulate you on your man. He seems to be, he can take his drink first of all, and he can also dazzle around with that dagger quite a bit. I just wanted to say that your choice of men are very well.
She looks at him and she says, honestly, I was hoping he was going to cut his finger off. And then,
we can always give him more drink.
She laughs. This is true. We could. It seems like he's getting better each drink he has. It's crazy. And then she kind of like shoulders him, and he kind of like starts to fall over a little bit. He's like, I can do it. And then you can see he's really drunk.
What is it with men? Why do they always think they're the superior ones? I mean, us women, we You seem to be a very knowledgeable businesswoman yourself. I mean, we don't need men.
Yeah. It's the truth. I mean, you need him for something. You know, to carry stuff.
Yes, men are very good for carrying things.
Mm-hmm.
And pardon me for my lack of introductions. You can just call me Brig because a lot of people spend more time in Brig than I do out of it. And this here is, well, this is, I call her Goldilocks, but her hair's red, of course. This,
She laughs a little bit. She says, "I like you. Tartak, come, drink with us." And she like pushes the guy, and he actually kind of he falls on the ground.
Brig is going to help him up and take him over and sit him on the stool next to where Belle and the Amazon woman is.
So, Theozon just kind of looks up and kind of squints, and then she goes back to her drinking. And she's like, yes, you have a hammer. I also have a hammer. It's super interesting. Buy me another drink.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a couple of drinks with her, and then when it becomes obvious she has no interest. I am gonna ask her though, what brings her to this tiny island, an Amazonian woman of obvious prowess. What would you be? What brings you to this tiny
Well,
island?
I'm trying to get back to Khromarium. I've been traveling on the snow serpent with that. And then she spits on the ground. Methakos. Ixians.
Let's see, Khromarium, you say?
Yes.
Well, that is where I am from, and most of my companions are from. We have business out on the archipelago, but after that is concluded, we'll likely be returning to possibly to Khromarium. Someone like yourself, who is sure-handed with a weapon, might be a welcome addition to the crew of the ship. If I can't promise anything other than that I see you spit on the ground when you speak of the snow serpent. We do not have anyone aboard our vessel that I don't think would inspire revulsion. They're good lads, the crew, and our captain is a fine woman. So it's a thought. If there's interest,
well, there is interest.
Yeah, it may take you longer to get there, but the journey may be more enjoyable.
She smiles and says, Yes. I see what you're getting at.
No, I mean, I do not
No, it's
mean...
fine. I like a direct man.
Well, if there is interest, we have our rowboat at the dock. Our ship is anchored just out in the water off the pier. It'll be very easy to spot our captain. She's a pretty red-headed lass, usually in the company of a rather tall woman with spear and kind of reddish hair herself. So two fiery females indeed. So seek us out and You can present your case, and we'll see what happens.
He nods. Says,
You-
"Stay here. I may take you to bed later. Get me a drink."
I snap my fingers at the bartender and start pointing like this. One more.
All right. So, anyone else doing anything over?
Not where I expected that to go.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
Basil approaches Bale, and he says, he puts his arm on his shoulder and says, "Well, let me give you an advice with Amazonian women. When you go up there, my friend, just do as you're told, and you'll do fine." And then he taps him on his shoulder.
I don't know if I should be scared, excited, or perhaps a bit of both, but
Well,
Life's-
you'll feel sore in the morning, but you'll probably enjoy the evening. And he
Well,
walks over to Muda after
yeah.
that little chat and sits next to Muda and says, "So, Muda, what's going on? What did you find out there?"
Said, well, not much. I mean, we're going to start trading here. They worship crabs. That's about it.
Well, there was this one fella who was locked in a cage. It seems like his fate is pretty much sealed. He says that he's gonna probably end up dying by fire or something like that. And he asked us whether if we could save him. What do you think?
I think we probably are. I mean, we're going to be here a couple of days because we got to wait for another ship to go out. I don't think we want to make any trouble here.
What's your impression of this town?
I think there's a lot more going on than what they pretend to be.
Did we get the whereabouts of the children that we're looking for?
No, I think that's what we're trying to do right now.
I see.
Yeah, I think I don't know. You want to check out the ships? Everybody else seems to be carousing and having fun.
Yeah, let's take a walk outside and check out the ships. Maybe I could ask that one guy who's in the cage about these missing children.
Okay.
And between you and me, I really can't hold any liquor, so there's not much that I can do here.
Yeah, my understanding it isn't that good anyway. So, and I prefer not to get that start consuming too much. So, I would rather be more in control of my head right now.
Yep, he nods and he gets up and heads out the building.
Nice. What's Callista up to?
Callista has just ordered like a meal, and she sits back in the corner and, sort of just like nest her meal. She would like to look through the eyes of Rascal to just to basically kind of see if she hears anything, from any of the locals or anything like that, anything of interest.
So outside. Okay. Awesome. All right, so you could have raw oysters for 2 silver pieces, grilled char for 2 silver pieces, or you get the fisherman's brewis, which sounds the most delicious to me, which is broiled cod and bread drizzled with salted pork fat for 1 gold piece.
Yeah, that's what I'll get.
All right, that sounds good. Ah, yes.
Actually, it kind of does.
It does sound really good. All right, so yeah, you guys, you're eating, you're listening. In the travelers camp, there's not a whole lot of locals. I mean, they kind of come in, they drink, and then they leave. You see those soldiers, those peculiar soldiers, you know, kind of still sitting around. They seem to be, they're speaking in a language you don't understand. And what you do notice, though, is that when Basil and and Muda go outside and start heading towards the cage, you see a guy that was kind of like just off to the side that you probably really didn't know, because I mean, remember, you're not going to do perfect vision through the eyes of the bird. A guy kind of looks up, sees them, and then gets up and starts kind of walking behind them. He doesn't seem to be armed or anything. He's just kind of walking in that direction. And I think we'll leave it there, actually. That seems like a good place to stop it. We got the two people at the captain's table talking a bit, two people walking out to talk to the caged guy, one guy that's going to fade to black, and we got our magic user seeing something going on that we don't know what it is yet. So any final thoughts?
Yep, Brig is going to look at the pirate captain, you know, when she sees Buddha and Basil walk out, you know, just barely glance at them. She looks back towards the pirate captain and she goes, you know, one time I was in this village. You've probably never been there, but if you ever go there, there's a place you must go to. It was one of the most rowdy taverns I've ever been to. It was called the Bandit's Keep. And the guy told me when I left and got up, he said, hey, when you leave, be sure and subscribe. Be sure and like this video. Be sure and comment on it. And when you walk out the door, there's a bell hanging there. Ring that bell so we can notify you of future stuff. That was one hell of a place.
Nice. Seems like worthwhile to head there. Thanks.